hostages whose bodies have been recovered from Gaza. The confirmed deaths of more people who were taken in the Hamas terrorist attack has prompted widespread protests from people who say the Israeli government isn't doing enough to reach a deal. Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated that Hamas will pay a heavy price for the actions of the 7th of October.
All this light got put out at once. All this purity got cut off by the brutal hand of monsters.
That translation on Sky News. An Australian study has found teenagers with depressive symptoms are more than twice as likely to try vaping. A survey of over 5,000 Year 7 and 8 students from 40 schools across the country finding a link between mental health struggles and trying e-cigarettes. Our eating habits are strongly influenced by our mood, according to new research from the CSIRO. 3/4 of respondents in a new survey admitted to eating more when bored, and over half eat more when feeling depressed. Behavioural expert Dr. Naomi Kakoschki says the foods people are most tempted by are chocolate, cheese and bread.
We're not saying that people have to cut these foods out completely, but what we're trying to do is to help people become more aware of their eating habits and think about what's driving them to go for these foods.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Experience the 2024 new-gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
And here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Graham. Australians Alex de Minaur and Jordan Thompson will soon face off for a place in the US Open quarterfinals. Craig Gabriel reports.
By reaching the fourth round of the US Open, Alex de Minaur is the first Australian man to secure a place in the fourth round of all four majors since Leighton Hewitt 20 years ago. And now he's looking to be the first again since Hewitt in 2005 to reach the quarters at three majors in a single season. De Minaur and Jordan Thompson meet for the sixth time with de Minaur up 4-1. The last meeting was Miami 2022 and de Minaur won. Thompson is having the best year of his career, and if he beats Demon, it will be his second top 10 win at a major.
And in action today, Jack Draper and Daniil Medvedev both had straightforward straight sets wins to advance to the quarterfinals. While on the women's side, American Jessica Pegula is into the final 8 after a straight sets win, but fifth seed Jasmine Paolini was beaten by Czech Karolina Muhova. Let's go to football. Port Adelaide's players have trained at Alberton last night and are confident Zach Butters will be fine after he missed yesterday's press conference with an eye issue. Meantime, Brisbane are hopeful strongman Jack Payne will return from a foot injury this Saturday in their elimination final against Carlton. He's been out for a couple of months. And Jamison Leeson has won a boccia silver medal at the Paris Paralympics. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now the FIVEAA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Sunny and 20 today. Tomorrow a possible late shower 26. Thursday a shower or two 27. Friday showers 22. Right now it's just 7. More news as it happens on FIVEAA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years. But one thing remains unchanged, our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Everybody knows Right Price are the heating and cooling experts. So imagine how much you can save when they join forces with EcoVantage, the incentive experts. Together with Right Price, EcoVantage will help you source all the government incentives you're entitled to when it comes to heating and cooling your home, including energy-efficient heat pump hot water systems. Right Price and EcoVantage, the best of both worlds when it comes to heating, cooling and government incentives.
Now, you wouldn't put your shoes on before your pants, and you don't apply lipstick before your foundation, so I'm told. But at Lifestyles Lonsdale, it's best to do the last thing first, which is pick your tiles.
That's right, pick your tiles. Lifestyles have got every size, every style, all at prices that mean you don't have to compromise. Let the tile you love inspire the design of your bathroom or kitchen. Now, that's more than 60 years' experience in the Lifestyles team, so you can trust their expert advice.
Whether you're becoming an empty nester or you simply want to update your home to
Adelaide wakes up with FIVEAA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Tom Wren for sport. Jade Robran on the scene as it happens. Graham Goodings and Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide. Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local, and only on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Join the VW Club and test drive today. Happy 70th Volkswagen from Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. Just a short drive from the city.
Spring wasn't made for indoors, it was made for Australian outdoor living. Now is the time to transform your backyard with our Super Spring savings, plus interest-free options available. Limited time only at Australian Outdoor Living.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Tuesday on 5AA Breakfast, the 3rd of September. If you're a Port fan, the key information this morning is this. We have tickets to give away at some point today for Thursday night's sold-out final at Adelaide Oval. Tense up. If you want to get along and you didn't get tickets in the big sale, listen up to us because we've got them and we'll give them away before 9 o'clock this morning. Also today, Phil Curry will talk federal politics and head to Canberra. We're going to put something to the jury trial just before 8 o'clock today. We'll be checking with the central markets, reopening today as normal after the fire on the weekend. We're going to talk spring gardening. Michael Keelan's going to come on the program because it's getting to that time of the year. And, of course, we'll get you across all the big news locally and around the world. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Will. It's only the beginning, as Deborah Conway was saying at the start of the program. It is indeed only the beginning of the show. We'll be here for almost a full 3 hours. It's currently 6:09. See, I was just trying to put you out of a job by doing a bit of
How about
emceeing.
that? That was excellent.
Yeah. We started playing those new-fangled, highfalutin ads we did, the new promo ads. It just threw me. I was quite disconcerted. I looked up on the TV, and anyone who was watching on the Facebook live stream would have seen them. I come out in a rash whenever we're told we have to go and do one of those photo shoots. I don't know what it is. The moment I get told it's coming up two months' time or 6 weeks' time, you need to set aside a morning because we're going to a photo studio. I don't know what it is because it's never as bad as you think it is.
Well, sometimes it is.
Oh, you mean in TV?
Sometimes it is. When you do 3 steps forward for the 900th time in a row, can we just adjust the lighting?
In TV, you seem to do that. You have to do that thing as the guy where you've got to put your head down and slowly look up.
Yeah, there's look up.
Yeah,
look left to right.
Yeah,
some looking pensive or happy.
But often you do it in weird settings.
Yeah, by the jet under a jetty.
Yeah, under a jetty. You know,
Rosanna and I often remark about how often we just catch up under the jetty, fully dressed in
I'm
suits
amazed that people haven't commented because you're always down there.
We're always under a jetty,
putting your head down in slow motion,
thinking about the big stories,
and then lifting it up in slow motion,
thinking about the breaking news.
Do you work on the basis that none of your bosses at 7 listen to the show before 7 a.m., mate? So much of what happens in the media is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. It's this conventional promotional wisdom, isn't it? It's beyond our pay grade. We just do it, you and I.
But it was funny doing this shoot, like having to wear suits. Because, like, look at us now.
It's a bit of false advertising,
it
really,
is.
in a sense, isn't it?
If you tune in,
fake news.
People,
this is what Donald Trump was talking about. This is the problem with the media.
It was fake news. Yeah, it is fake news. Big thanks to the people at Peter Shearer, though, because the clothes were excellent.
The clothes were great.
In fact, they weren't even loaners. That was my suit.
They were the standout.
That was the suit I bought myself with my own money because it's a well-made suit and I needed one because the others got attacked by moths.
82230000 is the number. You can text us on the Duttons text line as always, 2048081395. Or if you were watching the aforementioned advertisement that's on the live stream, you can comment and be part of the program whether you are on Facebook or YouTube, thanks to the great people at Foodland.
Someone's texted in thanking us for their show tickets. I went to the show last night with the kids. It was great.
Do you have a review? We got our listeners' reviews of the weekend. Anything substantially different this year that stood out?
No, there was nothing of note. The garden shopping centre seemed to have been split up into different bits because there used to be this sort of mega store that had those rusty sort of sculptures and sold a lot of hand tools and what have you, trivets and trugs or whatever they're called, little spikes and spires. But all that was in different sections, which threw me a little bit. I saw Callum doing a food presentation to a packed crowd. That looked pretty good. Follow the Yellow Brick Road seems to be bigger than ever. The queue to get a toasted cheese sandwich with I think it's $1.50 or something. It's
Is that part of the...
It's cheaper if you've got the Follow the Yellow Brick Road
Right.
bag. I reckon 10% of people at the show were doing Follow the Yellow Brick Road, and late afternoon, because Kate was working from home, so we didn't get down there till late. But the queue out of the dairy pavilion for people to get their cheese sandwich was like probably, there would have easily been 150, 200 people.
So for how long did you subject your children to the succulents / kayaks and outdoor pool solutions section of the overall show?
We went there first, and Kate said, "Let's just get this out of the way, kids." I was talking to a nice gentleman about at the bromeliad display, because there's a big bromeliad exhibition and sale coming up in Port Adelaide in a couple of weeks' time. You might not know about that, Will.
No, it's in the diary. It's definitely in the diary.
I've always been a big bromeliad guy.
You know me.
Did you know that pineapples are bromeliads?
I didn't know what the end of that sentence was going to be, but I already knew I didn't know it.
It's interesting, isn't it?
13 after 6. Let's take a break. We're going to use headlines coming up in just a moment.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai. The best time to get your car serviced with free parking, complimentary $25 food and drink coupon, and a free car wash and vacuum. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
When you choose Keaton, you can retire with confidence your way. Whether you're after more space or less, a change of scenery, or a new home nearby. Our retirement communities throughout SA offer many ways to enjoy your exciting next chapter. Choosing Keaton means choosing well-being in every way. It's choosing genuine connection and enjoying the confidence that comes with true quality, freedom and service. Explore our 4 South Australian retirement communities at keaton.com.au today.
Are you turning up the TV volume more? And more? And more? It's time to love your ears and show those around you some love too. Audica has opened new hearing clinics in Glenelg, St Agnes and Golden Grove, continuing their mission to help more people hear better. If you're over 26, you can book a free hearing check today at audica.com.au. Book your free hearing check today. Love your ears at Audica.
Bowel cancer is Australia's second biggest cancer killer, and tragically it claims the lives of around 100 Australians every week. However, 90% of bowel cancer cases can be successfully treated if caught early.
Preventive Health SA and Cancer Council SA urge you to get to it. If you're between the ages of 50 and 74, you'll be sent a free bowel screening test kit every 2 years. It's a quick, clean and easy way to detect early signs of bowel cancer.
This free bowel screening test can detect cancer long before symptoms appear, so set a reminder to do the test or order one online.
Don't put off the chance to save your life. Go to the website bowelcancer.org.au and get to it.
Ever had the feeling you're being watched online? Scammers are always looking for new ways to con you. They're criminals and they're clever. But Australian banks have joined forces in the war against them. Intelligence sharing between banks will identify new types of scams faster. A new payment system to ensure you pay the right person is being rolled out. Unique identity checks will defend against identity theft. And there'll be more double checks when you're paying someone new. Australian banks are working to protect you.
Drums, please. Unprecedented, unparalleled, unrivaled. The demo sale continues. Edwardstown Mazda are offering a minimum 10% discount on all Mazda demonstrator models and 2 years free scheduled servicing or $1,000 genuine accessories on new cars. Plus get a minimum $2,000 on your old vehicle. Only at Edwardstown Mazda.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
17 after 6 news headlines on this Tuesday morning. There is still no sign of Mehdi Habibi, who slipped off rocks at Granite Island on Sunday afternoon. There is quite incredible and distressing footage now, quite graphic too. I know all the media organisations got footage that was unedited and chose not to show the very last bit of it, which was incredibly distressing, showing the teenager disappearing into the surf. He was posing for photos when he was swept away. Dangerous weather conditions yesterday impacted search efforts, but again, they're going to be out searching this morning with better conditions in that part of South Australia forecast.
It is a pretty grim reminder not to, in weather like this, not to, even when you think the weather's fine, getting down onto rocks like that, you're asking for trouble, and that's not said with any sense of judgment.
It's a fact, though.
But it is a fact. And it's worth remembering. It's worth talking to your kids about it as well.
A handful of properties in the hills that were impacted by windy conditions on Sunday night, remembering it's Tuesday morning, are still without power. Is anyone in that scenario that's trying to listen this morning? Have you got any batteries left? If you're out there, give us a call, 8223 0000. A small amount of customers in and around Lenswood are not expected to get power back online until 3 this afternoon. So there are around 300 that are in Gumaraka and Kenton Valley. They're expected to get their power back in about 4 hours' time. SA Power Network says the delay is due to the large number of faults that occurred in the past day or so. If you're in that category and you're able to call us, please do. That's shocking. 2 days without power is
unacceptable,
unimaginable. Younger Australians are being encouraged to learn more about their super funds to avoid missing out on thousands of dollars. Australia's corporate regulator is also urging the superannuation companies to do more to keep younger members engaged. ASIC Commissioner Simon Constant says for most working people, super is the most important investment in their life.
But our research also shows that when it comes to superannuation, there's a concerning trend in that nearly half of them, 48% of the surveyed millennials, admit that they're not knowledgeable or not very knowledgeable about maximising their superannuation.
So that's notable. Millennials. We're not talking about 19-year-olds here. We're talking about people that are 30s and the 40s.
Yeah.
So
I reckon super's something that gets very real very quickly. When suddenly you're in your 50s, you go, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I'd really better start paying attention to this.
It goes to the point that our listeners, I think, rightly make often on the Duttons text line. There's a real lack of focus on financial literacy that gets taught at any level of school.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, why don't...
I think there's a huge hunger for it, because I think that's why people like Scott Pape have got such big followings. He's a really good explainer, and he's got a breezy sort of writing style, and he doesn't mind, a bit like your new mate Kane Corns, he doesn't mind getting into stinks with people about, I am going to tell people to get an investment property, and that doesn't make me a pariah. That's just, I'm all about trying to help people maximise wealth. And, the other thing is, if people have got the means to buy a house and rent it out, then that's good for the property market.
Yeah.
But he gets in all the...
Well, there needs to be more of that taught. I don't know what we sort of treat it like it's not the role of
education. What millennials should worry about too, and this is where instinctively, and Labor playing to base politics federally on this question, instinctively so many people went, oh, well, hand me the world's smallest violin. People with a super balance of more than $3 million are going to be hit by this great big new tax. The thing about that $3 million, it's not indexed. So it's just sitting there waiting. And governments now, particularly the Labor government, because they're the ones who invented it, in the event that they remain in power, they will just be sitting there licking their lips. And if you think $3 million makes you rich, well, it clearly makes you very rich now. But did we ever think that blueberries were going to cost $10 a punnet?
Well, it'd be like saying
cabbages were going to cost $10, because at some point $3 million of super is going to be quite mundane.
Well, let's think back to 30 years ago. Imagine it's 1994, and the federal government says we're going to introduce the luxury home tax. Anyone with a home valued at over $800,000 will be subject to the luxury home tax. And at the time, a lot of people were going, "Wants a mansion?"
Yeah,
I live in the suburbs of Adelaide. Totally. The average price of a house is a quarter of that. Yeah, it isn't now though.
Well, use the example I used yesterday.
790,000 is the median in Adelaide now.
Well, exactly. When we're talking about housing, I'll tell you this because I know from excellent personal experience. At one crazy and excellent point in the history of South Australia, you could buy an 1,100 square metre block of land at Aldinga, one street away from that excellent beach, and it cost you $102,000. Now, today, a block like that would probably cost $1 million. So it's gone up 10 times. So the value of your super within 10 years...
It'll be a lot of people will be there. That won't be
but
uncommon at all.
How can they get away with doing that?
Because people don't understand indexation. Again, financial literacy. An impending 3G network shutdown has sparked safety concerns for up to 200,000 medical device users. There are fears those with insulin pumps, heart rate monitors and personal safety alarms haven't been properly informed about how the shutdown could affect their devices. Australian Communications Consumer Action Network Chief Executive Carol Bennett says medical devices and their manufacturers have a track record of falling short on communication.
We've seen some catastrophic failures in medical device regulation in Australia when those manufacturers fail to maintain records or contact patients when there's failures.
You know who's not? Mike and Darren Steele with Care Alert. They've been ahead of the curve on this. Like, they were talking about this before anyone was talking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think the first I heard about the 3G shutdown might have been in talking to those guys about having to get their devices ready.
Yeah.
And that would have been 4 or 5 years ago. So their devices are golden. And if you need any more information, you speak to them because they're made here in Adelaide. So it's not hard to... It's not hard to get further information. Boredom has topped the list as the feeling most likely to make Australians reach for a snack. The CSIRO's released the findings of a survey on people's food habits. 72% of respondents rating chocolate as an irresistible flavour, with cheese the second most popular.
Cheese.
Yeah. Research scientist and dietitian Gilly Hendry says the research is looking into how we can live a healthier lifestyle.
If people have identified these foods as being problematic and they're trying to manage their weight, then yes, we need to help them understand why is it that they're going to those foods and what strategies can we help to become aware of that and then help to manage that.
You gave blood the other day. What about this development? Doctors may soon be able to create stem cells in a lab which closely resemble human blood cells. The Australian researchers behind the work say it's an important discovery which could transform treatments for children with leukemia and other bone marrow disorders.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Some of the stem cell stuff that's coming out at the moment is mind-blowing.
If you're going to have a snack, and people say you shouldn't eat between meals, but if you have to, some nuts is what you should eat.
I'm not sure they do say you shouldn't eat between meals now.
Don't they?
No, I think...
Well,
it's always a movable... mind the pun, but it's a movable feast, isn't it?
Right, exactly.
Every day there's a new bit of medical advice that comes out about...
All I know is if you eat one avocado a day, you'll live pretty much forever.
We're going to talk about avocados after 7 today because I think that might change based on the Jala avocado. Have you seen these things?
Jala avocado?
Average weight, 1 kilo.
Yeah.
Being grown in Queensland.
How do you keep them from going brown?
We're going to talk about it all after 7 o'clock today.
There's no way you can.
I knew you'd like that story.
A 1 kilo avocado, that's clearly some Franken avocado that's been crossbred.
Yeah, it's been crossbred, but there's no genetic engineering. So
what have they crossbred it with? A watermelon?
I'm not sure, but it's an Australian invention, and it's about to be sold in nurseries.
I suppose if you had 40 people coming over for dinner and need to make guacamole, it'd be handy.
It's a ludicrous amount of avocado. Top of 20 today. Today's the pick of the days this week. There are some remarkable highs, but today's the only one without any chance of rain, and there's light winds. It's beautiful. 20 and sunny today. But how about these for maximums? Tomorrow, 26.
Wow.
With a late shower, maybe a mil. So maybe I'm overstating how bad tomorrow will be, but it's more windy than today. Thursday, top of 27. Just a reminder.
Quite steamy and tropical by the sounds of
September, up to 3 mils of rain that day. Yeah, that will be quite humid, I imagine. And then Friday, a top of 22 with 1 to 7 mils of rain. That'll be the wettest day. 18 mostly sunny on Saturday. It cools back down for Sunday, 17 with up to 2 mils of rain. Then Monday, 18 and up to 2 mils of rain. Someone on the Duttons text line that it was Rob. It was definitely Rob because I know that he's flavour. Rob says, of course, Will knows about bromeliads. He heard about them under the jetty. Thank you for
that's
that,
where
Rob.
We'll hears about everything under the jetty.
That's where we get all our big leads at 7.
Yeah, breaking at 8.
Exactly right.
There. Some guy gets out of a van and goes, "Psst, hey, Will."
You know what's really happening on North Terrace. Tom Wren's in the 5AA Breakfast Studio. Let's turn our attention to sport, not stupidity. Rennie, good morning to you.
Morning. Well, this might be a little bit of stupidity. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a little bit of mind games. And I do love Chris Scott. I think he's probably the master at just manipulating the narrative to suit him and his side, and that's clever. He's won 2 premierships. He's got an amazing record. But he was asked yesterday about Tom Stewart. Now, the last time they played against Port Adelaide Geelong, Port won. It was at the Cattery. Jed McEntee played a fantastic game on Tom Stewart. So the question was, do you expect any extra attention on Tom Stewart this Thursday night? Have a listen to his response.
My argument is that it happens every week. There's no team in the comp that ignores him. Now, in terms of extra protection, I'm not a big advocate of that these days. They're big boys. The rules are such that there's not much you can do to protect them anyway. You know, the umpires were actually quite forthright last time, or the umpiring department last time we played them, that he probably could have got some free kicks that were missed. But if you're focusing on that stuff, I think we've got our head in the wrong place.
So I don't really want to talk about it, but the umpires have conceded that extra free kicks should have been paid.
Yeah.
I mean, puts it on the agenda without pretending to put it on the agenda.
He's a master, Chris Scott.
Yeah, that is.
So yeah, if there's that little bit, you know, if it happens the same way, then they've told us, no, they're going to be all over it. I mean, if I was Ken Hinkley, I'd be showing all the tapes of Charlie Dixon basically getting pilloried every week. I mean, it's
a clever and mischievous form of words, though. Reminds me a bit of the time when Jason Gillespie was asked about some woeful umpiring decision, and he said, "Oh, I'm not allowed to comment." But I was talking to one of my mates, and he said it was really, really bad.
Yeah,
it's like you're just sneaking it out there.
But it is intriguing, isn't it? And Zach Butters missed yesterday's press conference because of a bit of a funny eye. He trained okay though last night, so should be okay. But I mean, it's all on port this week. We know, there's going to be a lot of build up, so can't wait for it. Weather's looking okay, I think, Will, for Thursday night. Maybe a few spots of rain in the morning on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Well, funnily enough, Thursday now it's really intriguing weather-wise. Top of 27. So suddenly it's conditions that no one's played in since they did their pre-season. The rain weird. Most likely in the morning, so it'll be dry by the night.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, which is good. Look, in terms of the US Open as well, Alexei Popranov, I watched most of that match yesterday, mainly because I had a vested interest, and he should have won the second set, 5-3 up, 40 love, was a set down, lost it to Francis Tiafoe, won the third set to his credit. He should have beaten him. In my opinion, he played the better tennis, but just didn't take his chances, and that's
why I hate tennis. Like, you can find yourself sort of struggling psychologically for a good 12 hours afterwards at what might have been.
Absolutely.
Because people just, think about Rafter v. Ivanisevic.
Yep.
That final was it's horrible to watch.
Absolutely, and it's about in the big moments, and that's why Djokovic and those guys are so good, because they redline it, and they go, I'm not just going to let you win the point, you're going to have to win it. And that's what he does so well, and all the elite players. All Aussie affair in the other fourth round match this morning. Thompson, Demonor will keep you updated.
Good on you, Rennie.
On you, Tom.
Experience the 2024 new gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. You can test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi. Lots of good Dutton's texts have come through in the last 10 minutes. We're going to get to those on the other side of 5AA News. 0248081395 is the number. Dutton's car dealerships in the Adelaide Hills and Murray Bridge. Dutton's, easy to do business with.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
20 and sunny today with the 6:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
The search for a teenage boy feared drowned off Granite Island will resume this morning. Mehdi Habibi from Blair Athol and other family members have been on a picnic on Sunday for Father's Day. There's heartbreaking footage of the teenager disappearing into the surf. He was posing for photos when he was swept away. Dangerous weather yesterday impacted search efforts. The search will resume this morning with better conditions forecast. About 1,000 properties are still without power in the Adelaide Hills after Sunday night's wild winds. SA Power Networks says the delay is due to the large number of faults in the past day or so. Areas still affected are Cudley Creek, Gumaraka, Lenswood and around Strathalbyn. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has asked for forgiveness for not being able to bring back alive 6 hostages found dead in Gaza on Saturday. But addressing a media conference, he remained defiant on his demands. More from the BBC's James Landell.
It was an extraordinary mixture of limited contrition with powerful defiance. Politically, there was not a scintilla of movement on his refusal to agree any kind of compromise with Hamas that might leave Israel no longer in military control of a buffer zone in the south of Gaza on the border with Egypt called the Philadelphia Corridor. That is his argument. It is not an argument shared by many figures in Israel's defense community. It is not an argument shared by many of those people protesting on the streets of Jerusalem and Tel Aviv tonight.
Poor accounting practices by the previous administration have been given as the reason for an embarrassing turnaround in the financial status of the Adelaide Hills Council. The council has revealed a shock operating deficit of $4.86 million instead of its expected surplus of $559,000. Acting Mayor Melanie Selwood says despite the deficit, the council's long-term financial plan remains viable. They don't anticipate service delivery will be affecting residents. A new survey has compared mental health with vaping in young Aussies. It's revealed high school students struggling with stress are more likely to pick up the habit. The University of Sydney's Professor Nicola Newton says the study is the largest collection of data on adolescent vaping in the country.
So it's covering 40 schools, and these are independent and Catholic schools across New South Wales, Queensland and Western Australia. And it's the largest study to test whether a vaping prevention program delivered in schools will help young people stop vaping.
The CSIRO has launched a new tool designed to help Australians break free from unhealthy eating habits. New research has found we eat more when stressed or unhappy. Men are more likely to be tempted by beer and processed meats, while women reported a higher temptation for savoury crackers, cakes and muffins. Behavioural expert Dr. Naomi Kokoschki says the CSIRO's online Healthy Habits quiz can provide free, tailored guidance to better eating.
If Australians are interested in making a positive change to their habits and their health, I would encourage them to go to totalwellbeingdiet.com to do the Healthy Habits quiz.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Experience the 2024 new-gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
And good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Graham. Port Adelaide's players will have a light day as they continue preparing for Thursday night's clash against Geelong at Adelaide Oval. Zach Butters is expected to be okay after missing yesterday's press conference with an eye infection. Still on footy, Essendon great and footy commentator Matthew Lloyd says he'll be shocked if there isn't some sort of change in the wake of Melbourne's tumultuous week off the field. It comes after star midfielder Christian Petrarca pledged his loyalty to the club following trade speculation. Lloyd has told Wide World of Sports he believes the saga has exposed the cracks at the top of the club.
I think they'll look at everything. I think they'll look at how it gets to this point where their best player wants out, and so that's looking at absolutely everyone within the footy club, starting from the top with the president in Kate Roffey and all the way down.
Australia's Reid McCracken's Paralympic medal streak has come to an end, paying for a slow start in the final of the men's T34 100 metres. He had won silver in the event at the last 3 games. McCracken says there was too much ground to make up.
That was quicker than I did yesterday. In terms of the back end, I just wasn't there at the start, but that's sport, isn't it? You got to execute on the day, and I'm happy in the end of this. I made it to the final and 4th in the final, so I've been really fortunate for the past few Paralympics.
Yeah, great effort, that audio, thanks to Nine. And in action at the US Open this morning, Jordan Thompson will meet Alex de Minaur in an all-Aussie affair in their 4th round match this morning. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Looking forward to that one. Thanks, Tom. Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your AutoMasters technician.
Sunny and 20 today. Tomorrow, possible late shower, warming up to 26. Thursday, a shower or two, even warmer, 27. Then Friday, showers, 22. Right now, it's 7. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
24 minutes to 7, police and weather coming up this half hour. We're going to talk gardening too. Michael Keelan on the program ahead of spring with some spring gardening tips.
You should listen up for that, Will.
I'm just looking at your face. I want to know, do you feel a little bit... Are you a bit put out that Michael's coming on? We just don't.
He's the expert, not me. I'm an enthusiastic amateur. He's the go-to guy.
All right. Do we have any flag enthusiasts listening? Because today, being the 3rd of September, is Australian National Flag Day. It started in 1996 as a national day, celebrating an event 95 years prior, when the Australian flag was flown for the very first time on the 3rd of September 1901. It was the date that the Prime Minister Edmund Barton announced that the winner of the flag competition to work out what the flag of Australia was going to be announced, and they unfurl the giant one, 5.5 metres by 11 metres over the exhibition building in Melbourne.
Wow. I didn't know that. I had no idea that our flag was invented in a competition.
And today, all Australians are encouraged to fly or display the Australian national flag to celebrate the flag. So here's according to the federal government, they've put together a little list of handy things you could do today to celebrate the flag. You could conduct a flag raising ceremony. We've missed a trick not doing that up by the iPhone on a stick today.
We've done it out in the square.
We should have done that.
I wonder if any of our listeners have an Australian flag.
Yeah, I wonder. I bet plenty of flag poles you see about the place.
You often see them in sort of country areas. On acreage.
A lot in country areas.
Yeah. There's one down the back where that old nursery used to be at the back of Wollonga on the Selleck side. Big flagpole and this big sort of sculpted front yard filled with agapanthuses and so forth. Dave from Alberton just texted with the actual name of a flag lover is a vixophile.
A vixophile, yeah.
Vixophile.
A person who studies flags is a vixillologist. Someone who designs flags is a vexillographer. Vexillography is the art of designing flags.
Flags are excellent. I mentioned it before. There's a terrific game. You could probably get it in that games toy store in Adelaide Arcade. You can definitely get it online, but it's called Flags of the World. And you get 2 points if you get the flag right. But if you get the flag wrong, you're then told the name of the country. So say it's, I don't know, Uganda, and you get the flag wrong. Hard to get once you remember the Ugandan flag, it's easy to remember because
it's got the yellow on it. And
it's got a chicken on it.
Oh, does it? I can only picture it. I don't know what the middle was, but I can know the shape of it.
Yeah.
If you're raising a flag today...
If you get wrong, then the second question is, right, what's the capital? And if you go, Kampala, then you get 1 point for that.
Oh, good stuff.
But it's really good for kids, because kids have got this amazing ability. I don't know what it is, because as an adult you lose it. And maybe it's a good sort of anti-Alzheimer's thing to think about.
They don't have to remember anything else, probably.
Well, yeah, they don't have to remember, like, pay their mortgage and stuff like that. Buy their dinner. They soak up the flag.
Are you raising a flag today, folks? Let us know, 8223 000. I'll give you a Wallace Cinema pass to us. A flag enthusiast this morning on what is National Flag Day. Who has a flagpole at their place? Who had one growing up?
Mark in Para Hills has got one. I have an Australian flag. Mark writes, I put it up every Australia Day and every Anzac Day. Good on you, Mark.
Good on you, Mark. Get calling now, 8223 000. Or like Mark, you can text on the Duttons text line, 0448081395. Duttons car dealerships in the Adelaide Hills and Murray Bridge. Duttons, they're easy to do business with. I think we've got a flag enthusiast that's just calling through. We'll get to them in just a moment.
Rob texted in talking about the seemingly preposterous but inevitable idea that one day a superannuation nest egg of $3 million is going to be completely mundane. He says, in 1990 I bought 1,000 square metres of land in Woodside for $22,500 and I saw a 908 square metre block on sale online this morning in the same suburb for $260,000. There you go.
Yeah, it's not 3 generations to get to that point.
No,
it's within
one.
the space of one lifetime.
Totally.
Don in Stonyfield, you're a flag man.
Yes, I have. Yes, I've got the Australian flagpole at my house. And I went to the Burnside Council and asked them if I could have a flagpole. She said, as long as it's not a 60-footer. And I said, well, that's okay. And there's the pole higher than the house, and it's just the size of the second story.
So is that the rule, is it? The council won't sign off on having a flagpole if it's higher than the house?
That's what they said, yeah. Anyway, that's the Burnside Council.
Jeez, we are so over-governed in this country, aren't we?
I've got the Australian flag suit, 3-piece suit, British and American, and 3 Coca-Cola suits.
Oh, well, you never know when you're going to need one of them, Don.
You're ready for any dress code. Thank you, Don. Margaret in Parafield Gardens, good morning.
Good morning, and how did you go at the show yesterday, Dave?
Oh, we had a great time, Margaret, and I got to meet you as well, did I not?
Yes, it was lovely. I was there with my husband the first time. We just went solo with no kids or grandkids, so we looked at all the adult things yesterday.
Oh, that's good, and it was lovely bumping into you in the showbag pavilion, and it was your birthday yesterday too, Margaret.
Yes, it was, definitely. Yes, absolutely it was. Yes, that was lovely. I hope you and the family had a good time.
Yeah, it was great. Did you buy yourself a show bag? I got the Charlesworth savoury bag for myself, the $20 one. Did you get anything?
Yeah, I got a perfume one and a face cream one because, at my age we need a little bit of help.
Oh, you're looking all right, I thought.
Yes, I just wanted to let you know we have a flag. We have an Australian flag, and we've had it for years, and you can see it from the street, not just from our yard. And at night time, especially if we have people over, my husband has a floodlight that he puts up there, so it can be seen right down the street. So, yeah, really lovely. We've had it there for, I think, 20 years and have to replace it probably every 2 years because the wind ravages it.
Yeah, that's good.
Good on you.
Hey, great meeting you, Margaret. Thanks for calling in too.
Let's go out to the Riverland. Sarah, good morning.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Very well,
Good, thank you, Sarah.
That's good. No, well, my mum and dad had a place at Rose, and Dad had a big flagpole, and at one stage their neighbours were Commander Parker, who was the private secretary to, or best friend to Prince Philip. And when he died, he left all his flags to Dad. So Dad used to put up all sorts of flags on all sorts of days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow. What a great thing to inherit. They're probably worth a bit too.
Yes, I think my brother's got them now. So,
wow.
Yeah, Dad unfortunately is 95 and deteriorating. So,
yeah.
But no, he was very proud of his flagpole and used to hoist the flag every day.
Oh, that's excellent. Good on him. That's a great story, and flags with some history and heritage too. Let's give Sarah the Wallace Cinema Pass, the family pass. Sarah, we love the Riverland, love that part of South Australia. Love to hear from you as well on 8223 0000. Did you note that at the Royal Show yesterday, I'm not sure if you and Margaret came across this, but there was a record broken.
No.
There was a record broken at the show yesterday. Nicole Genrich, who has lays claim to being the world's second strongest woman, broke the Stones of Strength Challenge record. She lifted a 150-kilo natural stone onto a wine barrel. It's the heaviest load ever lifted by a female in Australian history. Well, she was on with Stacey Lee yesterday.
Biggie invited me down this year to do an exhibition lift, which I did at 1 p.m. today, and I lifted a 150-kilo natural stone, which is the heaviest natural stone ever lifted by a female in Australia and potentially the world. So,
oh my goodness.
And the thing with the natural stones is it's not like a Atlas stone, how they're nice and smooth and perfect. They're all odd-shaped, different texture, so it makes it very different. It's like a puzzle. You're trying to solve a puzzle to lift these stones.
Yeah, because you'd have to work out where to put your hands, and you obviously have to lift properly, not like me at home picking up my deliveries at the front door. You've got to bend your knees, I imagine, and do it right.
Yeah.
You'd hurt yourself with 150 kilos.
Yeah. I got some nice little grazes from it today.
Oh my goodness, you do too.
Yeah, not without some pain.
That must come with the job, though, of being Australia's strongest woman.
Yep.
So the previous record was 140 kilos. Her previous best was 120. She just thought, stuff it. On my third attempt, I'm going for 150.
That is insane.
It's a ridiculous amount of weight, isn't it?
I bought a pot from a garden centre a few years ago, and it weighed 80 kilos. And Dad and I had to get it onto this ute that we hired from our good friends at Avis Car Rental there on Port Road. And my God, that was a process. We had all these tie-down straps and everything, but that's roughly twice that weight.
Yeah.
We almost lost control of this thing getting off the back of the trailer.
You needed Nicole Genrich to come and help you out.
She's got Nicole to come round.
All right,
let's done it with one hand.
Wouldn't have even broken a sweat. Let's check traffic, police and weather next. If you're aged 45 to 49, the Jodie Lee Foundation encourages you to search free bowel screening kit and order yours today.
Thanks, Will, and morning, David. Couple of burst water mains to look out for this morning. One at Croydon Park, Regency Road near Romney Avenue. Another one at Valley View this morning, Grand Junction Road near Walkleys Road. A little slow as we speak at Wingfield, the Salisbury Highway to the Wingfield ramp, and down at 40 in a few spots, South Road through Edwardstown for works too. Early morning cameras, Cashel Street, St Mary's, and FIVEAA Drive at Pasadena today. Want to get more out of your 4x4? Petters GVM Plus upgrade kit will boost your load carrying power. Visit your local Petters store or petters.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The expert hearing team at Hearing Australia gives all Australians the quality hearing care they deserve, which is why we are Reader's Digest's most trusted hearing brand for the 4th year running. To celebrate, get your free 15-minute hearing check for adults and $0 fully subsidised hearing aids for eligible pensioners. Why trust your hearing to anyone else? Book an appointment today with Australia's #1 trusted hearing brand.
Hearing Australia.
A Other services may attract fees. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
If you're packing up your family to travel across the land will treat you different in a Dave Benson caravan.
30 years in business and proudly Aussie made. You'll always find the van for you under cover and in the shade. We've got the largest indoor showroom, so come and say g'day. Whether it's a caravan or RV, visit DBC today. So clear out the calendar and cancel all your plans, because there's never been a better time to visit Dave Benson Caravans.
Join Gliderol in celebrating the Colorbond Steal the Show promotion. By purchasing a roller door or sectional door made from Colorbond steel from Gliderol, now or within the last 12 months, you could win $100,000. Visit gliderol.com.au today for a free measure and quote. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply. See colorbond.com/steal the show, 18 plus only. Strict purchase and eligibility criteria apply. Ends 30/11/24.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tires and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Get your new home or renovation back on budget with National Tiles' exclusive everyday value ranges. Yes, get your new home or renovation back on budget with National Tiles' exclusive everyday value ranges. I have personally been obsessed with offering exceptional National Tile value for over 45 years at all our stores across Australia, and promise you I'll relentlessly continue to do so. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
12 minutes to 7. Let's talk about the weather this week, because you click on Adelaide at the Weather Bureau website today, and you'll end up going back and thinking, have I hit Darwin? What the heck is going on? There are 26s and 27s in our future. Today looks beautiful. Jenny has the specific detail. Jenny, what's happening in Adelaide this week? It looks like we've suddenly turned into a tropical paradise.
Well, we have technically clicked over to spring now, so those spring-like temperatures are bouncing in as we tend a little bit northerly as we head into the middle of the week. Things are definitely calming down. We've had the high-pressure system move across, light winds for today, sunny conditions aiming for a top temperature of 20 degrees for the city, 21 across the northern suburbs, 19 degrees along the coast and for Mount Barker. A little bit of a chillier start, though, with those clear skies here in the city. Minimum temperature just after 6 a.m. was 6 degrees. Currently, we are sitting at 7.2 degrees at the West Terrace Naidapira observation site. A little bit cooler around those northern suburbs, minimum temperatures there of around 4 degrees. As that high pressure system moves over into the Tasman Sea, we'll see those northerly winds picking up, so those temperatures on the rise. So we are looking at around 26 tomorrow after a minimum of 11. There is a trough coming across from the west, so a possible shower during the evening, not out of the question, and rolling on into Thursday there as well. They should clear off during the course of the morning, still maintaining that northerly airstream again on Thursday, so that temperature possibly getting up to 27 degrees after a minimum of around 17, so that's pretty warm for this time of year. We do have that westerly change moving through during the evening, so a little bit of shower activity expected at this stage on the Friday. Temperatures back down to around 22, and as we head on into the weekend, probably looking like a sunny day on Saturday there, maybe the slight chance for shower a little bit later, 18 degrees, possibly some shower activity around on the Sunday, 17 degrees.
Good on you, Jenny. Thanks, Jenny. Let's head to Save Pulse, and your Constable Matt Brown's on the line. Matt, the search this morning continues for a missing teen at Granite Island.
That's right, Will. Police from the Water Operations Unit, Polyair Crews, SA Surf Rescue, National Parks, the Volunteer Marine Rescue and SES members have been assisting local patrols and members of the public in their search for a 16-year-old boy that went missing on Sunday the 1st of September at Granite Island. The boy is yet to be located, and the search efforts have been impacted by dangerous weather conditions in the area, and the search will resume today, again using all of the people I mentioned before, like Polyair and SES, and their assistance is simply invaluable, all the volunteers down there.
Yeah, they certainly are, Matt, and, you know, it's looking grim, but fingers crossed that this story will end with some kind of miracle. There was a robbery at a hotel in Gawler earlier this morning, Matt.
That's right. Just before 3 a.m. today, police were called to a hotel in Cowan Street after reports that two men entered the gaming room and threatened staff before stealing money and fleeing the scene. Now, one of the men was armed with a firearm and the other was armed with a knife, but no one was injured at the hotel, and the suspects left the scene in a black Mercedes sedan which has a white interior. And the car was driven by a third person who didn't get out of the car. So anyone who may have witnessed the incident or saw a car matching that description in the Gawler area is asked to call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
And also, Matt, 2 people arrested after an assault in the city this morning.
Yes, well, about 1:15 a.m. today, police were called to Pulteney Street after reports that a man had been assaulted by 2 people who were armed with a knife who had forced their way into his apartment. Now, the victim, a 42-year-old man, sustained minor injuries and was treated at the scene by paramedics. And the suspects activated the fire alarm after they left the apartment building, causing everyone to evacuate. And police searched the area for the suspects and stopped a car on North Terrace just before 2 a.m. and located the pair inside. So a 49-year-old man from Adelaide and a 42-year-old Birkenhead woman were arrested and charged with aggravated serious criminal trespass and assault. The man was also charged with breaching bail, so he was refused bail to appear in court today. The woman was bailed to appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court on the 13th of November. And crime scene investigators will attend and examine the scene this morning. And we're also appealing for witnesses for that one too. So anyone who may have witnessed it, please contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
Crikey, that's quite a story, particularly after the stuff we were doing yesterday about the mayhem on Goodger Street. Thanks for that, Matt. Senior Constable Matt Brown from SAPOL.
Well, it is, as you just heard from the Bureau, the start of calendar spring, and we've got a week that feels incredibly springy. 26 tomorrow, 27 the next day. Wanted to ask the expert himself about what we should be doing in the garden to start the season. So for that, Michael Keelan joins us on 5AA Breakfast, the host of the Weekend Breakfast and Gardening Show. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Dave. Yes, the weather was very well described by the Bureau this morning, bouncing around. That's a great term for spring.
Yeah, well, you get a bit of everything. We've had a few days over the last week where you don't know whether to keep your raincoat on or run around in a T-shirt. But that's good for the plants, isn't it? Because they want a bit of heat and they want a bit of moisture at this time of year.
Oh, they certainly do. And Dave, I heard you talking a week or two ago about your seedlings, your tomato seedlings. I mean, all of a sudden they start jumping out of their skin and developing into beautiful little plants. So there is this energy with spring. I mean, I know we get the rain, the wind and all that, but, you know, it's just a wonderful time of the year where really you'd have to be hard-pressed or incapacitated to some degree, not wanting to get out into the garden, whether it be big or small, this time of the year.
I was just looking at Will then when you were saying that. Hard-pressed or incapacitated. I'm not sure which category Will fits into. So what's your, if you were to spare sort of day or 4 hours over the weekend, Michael, what would be the key thing you'd be focusing on in the garden right now?
Yeah, that's a good question, Dave. The first thing I'd be doing is getting rid of weeds because they just seem to spring up everywhere.
Yeah.
And I suppose the more established your garden is, the less weeds you get. But that's the first thing. The other thing that's really important is to trim. If you haven't trimmed roses, it's still not too late, although it's not the best time, but get the garden in some sort of a shape. There, plant any new plants, and there's always a gap, as you know, that you can fill something in. Certainly think about veggies. This time of the year can't go wrong. Maybe even just grow a pot of basil, you know, for starters. That's easy. And the other thing is feeding, and the top of the tree is mulching, really, because that just is the icing on the cake.
Well, you mentioned weeds. Like, there's some people who, and I sort of fit into this category a bit. I find that the sense of satisfaction I get from doing, 3 or 4 hours of weeding makes it all worthwhile. But it is still the bane of your life, and you sort of groan on a Sunday morning and look out and go, look at all those soursobs and there's kikuyu that's getting into the garden beds. Is there any way to weed-proof a garden bed? Because I've started putting down old sort of unfolded newspapers and then putting mulch on top of that. But do the seeds underneath ever really die? Because in my experience, there's nothing that really works.
Well, the thing about it is those seeds are in their millions probably and have been there for generations. So given the right conditions. And as we know, different years you get different weeds. It's quite remarkable, really. So I think what you're doing, snuffing the weeds out, taking away the light, you can, of course, use herbicides that, they're knockdown ones now that are quite safe to use. But mulching is seriously a really good way. If you've got a mulching program, like a wheelbarrow full of mulch at hand, every time you see a weed or a patch of bare ground, just mulch it to about 2 or 3 inches. And that will gradually get rid of weeds. And why not think of natural herb mulches? You could grow thyme and sort of plants like that would snuff out any chance of germination.
Anything that's that dense as thyme makes it hard for anything to grow through it because it makes a real mat. There's good advice. I've seen Will taking exhaustive notes. I reckon we should get him a pot of basil. We'll do that as an experiment. I'll bring in a pot of basil for Will. We'll see how long it lasts.
You should do that, seriously. As you know, Dave, all you need is one plant and one success with that plant, and you're hooked.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that success.
Well, this could be it. This could be a lucky break.
No, I'll put that basil on a pizza. It'll be great.
And Dave, finally, be careful with loving bromeliads. There's about 3,500 different varieties.
They're quite heartbreaking plants too, because when they flower, they don't flower again, do they? You've got to snap off one of the pups and replant it.
That's exactly right, and the display down the show this year is exceptional.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah,
it's terrific.
And you haven't answered my question. How are the tomatoes coming on?
Well, I started a bit too late with my seeds this year. They've sort of just started to sprout, but they're so small. I reckon I might just have to cut to the chase and get some seedlings from I to 10 or.
Absolutely.
And I often, for my chilies, I go out to Chili Mojo on McGill Road because they always have a whole range of really good advanced chili plants.
Oh, okay. I know where it is. I've never been in there. I must visit. Yeah.
They got a good range, jalapenos, habaneros, all the good ones. So,
that's the double guts to me. But anyway, that's great.
Yeah, no, they're good. Nice and spicy. Good on you, Mike. Thanks for coming on. Michael Keelan, the 5AA Weekend Breakfast and Gardening Show.
Big good morning to everyone in Moonta Bay that's listening in. We've just got sent a text from a listener in Moonta Bay. Who was it that sent it in? Lisa. Lisa has taken a picture of her weather zone app. 0.1 degrees in Moonta Bay this morning with an apparent temperature of minus 4.5. So whilst it's going to be a nice and warm day today, in some parts of Adelaide, it is a very, very chilly start. 5AA News is coming up. Back with our wrap of the morning stories next.
Mario Mayola Promotions and 5AA present Hooked on Swing, starring vocal sensation Kate Black, the Three Little Sisters, and crooner Chris Lloyds, together with the Boogie Woogie Big Band and Swing Dancers. Come hear the music of Benny Goodman, Cab Calloway, Billie Holiday, the Andrews Sisters, Glenn Miller, Nina Simone and more. Hooked on Swing, Festival Theatre, Wednesday, October 2nd. Book now at Ticketek.
Are you looking for a guide to the NDIS? With over 3,000 providers, the Disability Support Guide offers people with a detailed directory of providers and their services, from accommodation and advisors to different therapy options and in-home and community services. The Disability Support Guide is committed to being Australia's leading voice for consumers navigating disability support. For more information, visit disabilitysupportguide.com.au or give us a call on 1300 186 688.
Introducing the all-new Volvo electric excavator. It's quiet and has no emissions or exhaust, so it's perfect for confined spaces. The battery has 48 volts and it's got zero tail swing radius, whatever that means. 2.7 tonnes of brilliant bright yellow, but it's green environmentally, but it's yellow, quite literally. Inquire today through Warren Mining for all your electric excavation needs, but also all your construction equipment needs, because Warren Mining do it all.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai. The best time to get your car serviced with free parking, complimentary $25 food and drink coupon, and a free car wash and vacuum. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Sunny and 20 today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Graham Goodings.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
The search for a missing teenager off Granite Island will continue today. Mel Usher reports.
Mehdi Habibi slipped off rocks at Granite Island on Sunday afternoon. There's heartbreaking footage of the teenager disappearing into the surf. He was posing for photos when he was swept away. There have been no sightings since he initially fell into the water at Victor Harbour for a Father's Day picnic. Dangerous weather yesterday impacted search efforts. The search will resume this morning with better conditions forecast. Police from the Water Operations Unit, Polair Crews, Surf Rescue, National Parks, Volunteer Marine Rescue and SES members are assisting local patrols and members of the public in their search.
Hundreds of properties in the hills impacted by the windy conditions on Sunday night are still without power. The customers in and around Lenswood are not expected to be back online until 3 this afternoon. SA Power Networks says the delay is due to the large number of faults in the past day or so. Israel's Prime Minister says he has begged for forgiveness from the families of the latest hostages whose bodies have been recovered from Gaza. The confirmed deaths of more people who were taken in the Hamas terrorist attack has prompted widespread protests from people who say the Israeli government isn't doing enough to reach a deal. Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated that Hamas will pay a heavy price for the actions of the 7th of October.
All this light got put out at once. All this purity got cut off by the brutal hand of monsters.
That translation on Sky News. Police are investigating a robbery at a Gawler hotel in the early hours of this morning. Just before 3 a.m, police were called to the hotel in Cowan Street after reports that 2 men entered the gaming room and threatened staff before stealing money and fleeing the scene. One of the men was armed with a firearm, the other was armed with a knife. No one was injured. The suspects left the scene in a black Mercedes sedan with a white interior. The car was driven by a third person who didn't get out of the car. Homestart has helped thousands of South Australians get into the housing market. Around 2/3 of all new customers with Homestart were first home buyers, with almost 3,000 loans settled in the last financial year, the highest level of lending since 2006. Treasurer Stephen Mulligan says the results show the value of Homestart providing a pathway for South Australians otherwise locked out of the property market.
Spurred on by having to pay no stamp duty and low deposit loans without lenders' mortgage insurance, first home buyers have taken advantage of good lending conditions to get themselves into the home market in record numbers.
Doctors may soon be able to create stem cells in a lab which closely resemble human blood cells. The Australian researchers behind the work say it's an important discovery which could transform treatments for children with leukemia and other bone marrow disorders. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Experience the 2024 new-gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
And good morning, Tom Redden.
Very good morning to you as well, Graham. Port Adelaide Vice-Captain Zach Butters was out training last night and showing no signs of discomfort after missing yesterday's press conference with an eye issue. Ruckman Jordan Sweet also copped a light knock to the knee after a collision but finished the session and should be okay to take on the Cats on Thursday night. Across at West Lakes, the Crows have re-signed ruckman Riley Thilthorpe on a 3-year extension, meaning he'll remain at West Lakes until at least the end of 2028. The 22-year-old telling the club's website he's committed to where the club is heading.
It just shows you we've got a really good culture, and a lot of the boys signing on just shows that. And we're all really excited. We want to play finals and we want to be pushing for that next year. So yeah, we're really excited.
Well, Australia's sitting at 6th on the medal tally after gold medals to bookmark Day 5 action at the Paralympics in Paris. The day started with an early gold for Lauren Parker in the para-triathlon women's PTWC before a massive anchor leg from Alexa Leary sealed gold in the pool for the mixed 4x100 metre relay, 34 points. Teammate Tim Hodge says they had each other's backs.
Going into the race, we all knew our race plan. We all knew what we had to do to set the next person up. We were all trusting each other to get the job done.
Fantastic audio there, thanks to Nine. The Aussies securing silver medals also in the men's 100 metre breaststroke S14 and the men's and women's boccia BC3. And at the US Open, Daniil Medvedev is through to the quarterfinals after a straight sets win along with Jack Draper, while Alex de Minaur will meet Jordan Thompson in an all-Aussie affair shortly, while on the women's side, Brazilian Beatriz Haddad-Maia has just edged out Caroline Wozniacki in an epic three-setter lasting just under 3 hours. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Good on you, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Don't miss out on Explorer Caravan's spring clearance sale ending this weekend. Explorer Caravans, 345 Prospect Road.
Morning there, Croydon Park, a burst water main to look out for today. Regency Road near Romney Avenue. Another burst water main playing up today at Valley View. It's on Grand Junction Road near Walkleys Road. We are slow for works at Wingfield at the moment. Grand Junction Road near Dunstan Road and getting busy. Marion Road at the Anzac Highway intersection. Camera 2 this morning, Cross Road at Edwardstown. You wouldn't operate a chainsaw blindfolded, so why dig without searching before you dig first? If you don't, you're digging blind. Search before you dig online every time. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automaster's technician.
Sunny and 20 today. Tomorrow, possible late shower, warming up to 26. Thursday, even warmer, a shower or two, 27. Then Friday, showers, 22. Right now, it's 7. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
7 after 7, good morning to you. Welcome to Tuesday if you're joining us for the first time. Magnificent day on the way. Going to be a top of 20, sunny, light winds. Perfect day for getting to the show or doing whatever it is that you might want to do around Adelaide. That said, in plenty of places in SA right now, it is freezing cold. We mentioned Moonta Bay before the break. Lisa mentioned 0.1 degrees there. The apparent temperature minus 4.5. But then you go to a place like Mount Torrens, where Louise says 0.3 Mount Torrens. My husband has been up since 1:30 this morning monitoring frost on our vineyard. So there are places where it is
plenty to monitor.
Yeah.
Well, there's not a cloud in the sky. Look over there, looking out towards the Adelaide Hills. The sun, it's blazing.
Look at the iPhone on a stick. Bit of lens flare there.
Wow. Crikey, looks like something you'd see in Mumbai. One of those giant orb sort of sunrises.
It is quite spectacular. Food and Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. Let's jump into the news headlines this morning. We start in a similar place to yesterday, albeit with more information. This time yesterday we knew precious little about the man who'd been lost off of Granite Island, just that he was 17 years old. Well, today we know his name is Mehdi Habibi. His brother Sahil has spoken publicly about the moment his older brother was struck from behind by a wave on Granite Island and then disappeared into the surf.
My brother said take my photo and I take his photo.
It's a sad story when you dig into some of the... I mean, it's sad anyway, but it's the details around it. So this family, this is their first Father's Day together in 14 years. Mehdi, Sahil and their mother only arrived in Adelaide in November last year. They were refugees. The father, Mehi, had been here since 2010, so they'd all finally gotten to Australia as refugees from Afghanistan.
And escaping the Taliban.
That's right. They'd lived in Pakistan as a sort of intermediate step before they'd finally reunited, and they were celebrating it down at Victor for Father's Day on the weekend.
Yeah.
Granite Island has subsequently been closed to the public. The advertiser points out that in the last decade, there's been a long and tragic history of people who have recently immigrated to Australia and tourists that have come to grief fatally off South Australia's coast, mostly at Glenelg and on the FIVEAA Peninsula.
Well, there was that story I remember at Glenelg involving a young African child.
Yep. Well, there's been 7 instances in the past decade that have claimed 9 lives. Given how safe and benign the waters are in this part of the world, that's surprising.
Well, they are for the most part. Like, pretty hard if you're knee deep at Seacliff or something. But Granite Island, the Bluff, these are, those rocks down there and that open sea. It's notorious, and I think it's a sad demonstration of how, firstly, if you come from countries that have got no swimming culture, countries with plenty of landlocked countries. From memory, Afghanistan is landlocked, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so there's no coast, but, there's no infrastructure at all in a country like Afghanistan. So you don't grow up with state swim.
No.
You don't grow up doing your survival certificate. You don't grow up being taught how to do, like, a safety jump if you're jumping into the Murray so that you don't sink and get snagged. Like, it's it's really sad, and these people are in a more dangerous situation because they've had none of that education that's hardwired into you. I reckon most people in Australia would try to get their kids into swimming lessons by the time they're probably 3, maybe even 2. You see babies doing it.
Yeah, we've been doing it with Rosie since she was 6 months old.
Yeah, it's sort of like we've got this hard-grained paranoia as Aussies about what rips are.
Yeah, you're right. It's all part of the natural bit of growing up, isn't it?
Yeah,
You're
it's
taught
like
about every
learning how to
element
ride a
of it. Let's have a look at some of the other things going on. This is interesting. We're going to talk more about this in depth after 8:30 today. Frank Pangallo has he's advocating for a trial of Melbourne-style hook turns in the CBD, and he wants it not just in the CBD but some suburban centres as well. A hook turn is, if you've ever driven in Melbourne, it's made out to be significantly more complicated than it is. But before you do a right-hand turn, you pull over to the left and give way to the traffic that's going straight ahead, essentially. So you do a right-hand turn from the leftmost lane. Frank Pangallo's argument is there are more than 300 no-right turns in the city, and this creates an issue. If you get caught in the trap where you can't do a right-hand turn, you end up travelling off to the never.
That is true. Driving through Adelaide at night, if you don't keep your wits about you, you can end up driving around into sort of whole series of bizarre circles on the edge of town to get back to where you wanted to go.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
But hang on, so if that happens, how would you do it? Because I reckon in Melbourne, don't you have to get over to the left before you perform the turn?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So you go to the
leftmost lane.
Hmm.
Here's Frank Pangallo on 7 News last night.
No way to make a right-hand turn here. Not even trams can make a right-hand turn in there because they didn't get that right. Getting around the CBD particularly is now a nightmare. You have to navigate a maze of roads just to make right-hand turns. Let's have a trial and let's see how it works on specific intersections that are congested.
So we will talk more about that in depth after 8:30 today. If you've got a view, we'd love to hear it though. 8223 008. You can text us on the Dutton's text line 0480 13 95. We spoke about this at 6:20 this morning, the upcoming release of the Jala avocado plant. It's a groundbreaking variety of avocado cultivated by an 81-year-old Queenslander, Lorna Spackman. They grew citrus
Lorna Spackman.
Lorna Spackman. Lorna Spackman. So Lorna and they grew citrus on their property, and they had these avocados, and they started playing around with them. The avocados from grafted Jala trees average between 1 and 1.2 kilos. So a Hass avocado is generally about 250 grams.
Isn't that just the living demonstration of the maxim that it's possible to have too much of a good thing? Like if you get one good avocado and you have half of it on toast, or half of it with a nice bowl of rice or something on the side with some grilled chicken or fish or something, the moment you put Glad wrap on it, you put it in the fridge.
Yeah, but you're thinking about it for just purely for domestic use. What about commercial use?
Well, for commercial use, I get it. Like if you're the owner of, Chachi's or Montezuma's and you're making 40 kilograms of guacamole a week, buying 40 avocados as opposed to, what would an avocado weigh? 150, 200 grams?
250 grams had the average Hass.
Yeah, right.
So it's 4 times the size generally of the average hash. So the thing is,
I don't know, just it sounds like
it's
like martinis. You can have too much of a good thing.
They're about to be available for sale. So if you wanted for gardeners to buy the seeds and do this themselves, select fruit and veg shops around Queensland. There are pre-orders that have almost sold out for the first 1,000 trees, which they've sold to. I guess you can guess which national hardware chain. Nurseries in southeast Queensland, North Queensland too. They'll be selling them from mid-September. The other thing is these trees, the Jala avocado tree is hugely productive. They grow to around 10 metres tall, yield a huge volume as well. So I don't know if you're rolling into your local hardware store and buying a tree, if it's going to be sort of an appropriate domestic pursuit.
10 metres.
I guess if you love your avocado.
A lot of people are firing up about the hook turns and firing up in both directions. On the text line, Greg says hook turns are easy and they only inspire panic among those who've never or rarely driven in Melbourne. Conversely, Matt from Blair Athol says, guys, just know Adelaide drivers struggle to follow the basic road rule, let alone bringing in something like this.
Let's go to Mount Barker. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, g'day, fellas. I reckon it's good. Good idea, yep. It works well in Melbourne for the tram. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I think explaining it to someone makes it sound a lot more complicated than it actually is in practice. Because they have designated little lanes. It's all signed. Look, it's idiot proof.
But where do you when you're about to perform the turn? Where are you on the road? Are you in the turn left lane?
So imagine there are two straight lanes that are going through. Yeah, you're effectively in the intersection in the turn left lane.
But what happens to the people behind you who actually just want to turn left? Do they just have to wait for you to do the turn?
But I think they have a turn left lane.
Oh, so we need a separate lane.
Yeah, I think you sort of there's a little. It's written on the road like a little bay that you almost pull into. There's a white lined bay that you hold at.
But now that we've got bike lanes everywhere, is there enough space left on the roads to create new lanes for things like that?
Are you saying this could be a good excuse to get rid of bike lanes? Rob in Semaphore, good morning.
No, I don't mind bike lanes.
Hey guys, yeah, I think you should leave the no right-hand turn lanes as they are. They work really well in Adelaide. I think the hook turn is a bad idea. It just congests the traffic.
Have you ever found yourself getting caught, Rob? Like, say you're heading east along, I don't know, Wakefield Street, and you want to turn right at King William or Pulteney, and you go, oops, I can't, because
not
after
at all.
4.
You go up to the next intersection, you turn left again, and you come back in.
Yeah.
You're basically doing a U-turn effectively, and the next block it's easy. That's it. No right-hand turns has actually improved the traffic in Adelaide. I work and drive in the city all the time, so I guess I know the best way to get around, so it's easier for me. But putting a hook turn in there will just congest the left-hand lane, and it won't help things, in my opinion.
Good on you, Rob. Thank you. Let's go to Andrew. Good morning.
How you going? David, do you drive around the city of Adelaide with your eyes shut?
No, generally I keep them open when I'm in the car, mate.
All right, well, there's two spots in Adelaide that there's already hook turns. One is, and it's for buses, one is at King William and North Terrace, right, and it's there, and the other one is actually in Curry Street, turning right into King William Street.
For buses?
For buses.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys didn't know that, but it's definitely the case.
Yeah, but this is... Andrew, we're talking about for cars. People driving cars.
Yeah, well, the buses pull over over to the left.
Yeah, but they're not...
And then they just do it just exactly like in Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah, but we're talking about cars.
Yeah, well, the cars can do the same thing. It's not difficult. It's simple.
Well, it's actually illegal at the moment, though, because they're for buses, mate. So
Correct. It is illegal for cars at the moment, but it's happening already for buses.
Yeah, but we're talking about being introduced for cars.
It's not our idea, mate. We're just talking about it. If you want to shout at someone, ring Frank Vangello.
That was exceptional. 19:07. Let's check traffic, and when we return,
you're out of your element. Shut up, Donny.
We're just over the line, David. You moron. Let's check traffic, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Central Market that reopens today, as per normal, after the evacuation on the weekend. If you're aged 45 to 49, the Jodie Leaf Foundation encourages you to search free bowel screening kit and order yours today.
Thanks. We've got a crash at the Bay this morning. It's on Brighton Road near Jetty Road, causing delays as you're heading towards the airport. Burst water main at Croydon Park, Regency Road near Romney Avenue, and another burst at Valley View, Grand Junction Road near Walkleys Road. Down to 44 works at Parkside, Glen Osmond Road near John Street, with a camera this morning, Grange Road at Hawthorne. Spring into school holiday fun at Discovery Parks. Adventure-packed days and unforgettable experience are closer than you think. Book your spot now at discoveryparks.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
Guja Street seems to have become the new Hindley Street in the city. Traders battling, they say, rising crime rates amongst young people. Henry Davis says a councillor at the Adelaide City Council.
There was actually a break-in this morning, apparently, so police are already on the street.
Matthew Pantelis.
Essentially, things are getting worse and worse along Guja Street with crime and break-in.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Breaking news from Yes, your energy saving solutions. Thanks to mid-year updates to the SA Government's REPS initiative, you can qualify for a new air conditioner at our lowest price ever. Yes now offers eligible concession households a fully installed 2.6 kilowatt Rinnai system from only $299. Enjoy comfort all year round and join over 60,000 Adelaide homes that have said yes to lowering their energy bills. For terms and conditions on this limited offer from your energy saving solutions, visit yess.net.au.
Now let's see what's in the swear jar at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens.
Boy, that's a cookie jar.
Busted. My mistake. Let's see. Here it is. Here's one from Renette, an interior designer at Buy Urban for over 20 years. Renette swears to ensure your dream bathroom becomes a wonderful reality. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts. Wouldn't mind a cookie.
Now, towns across all the nation, the expert team at Hearing Australia are giving all Aussies the quality hearing care they deserve. That's why they've been named the Reader's Digest #1 trusted hearing brand for the 4th year running. So, do you or someone you know have concerns about hearing? Well, now's the perfect time to register for a free 15-minute adult hearing check. Pensioners also could be eligible for $0 fully subsidised hearing aids under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program. Why trust your hearing to anyone else? Find out more at hearing.com.au or call 134 432 to book an appointment with Hearing Australia today. Other services may attract fees. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
The biggest threat to your business isn't your competition. It's cybercrime. Cybercrime threats impacting Australian businesses large and small continues to grow year on year. One call to one solution will put your business in a safe place and save you from the devastating consequences of cybercrime. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make. Stay safe and protected. Get in touch with One Solution. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
Drums, please. Unprecedented, unparalleled, unrivaled. The demo sale continues. Edwardstown Mazda are offering a minimum 10% discount on all Mazda demonstrator models and 2 years free scheduled servicing or $1,000 genuine accessories on new cars. Plus get a minimum $2,000 on your old vehicle. Only at Edwardstown Mazda.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
24 minutes after 7, the Central Markets were evacuated on the weekend, not because of not one but a couple of fires that took place. Things, we're delighted to say, are reopening as normal today. Fabian Riley is the General Manager of the Central Markets and joins us on the line now. Fabian, good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone.
It was a pretty chaotic morning, Fabienne, and there were, two tries at getting people back into the market, but eventually that second fire was toilet rolls, wasn't it, that were smouldering and forced the total shutdown for the day?
That's right. The first one was quickly controlled, and MFS, who had taken command of the site, said it was safe to bring customers back, and it was, but there was another spot fire adjacent to the first one that started from the heat. We had cleaning supplies there, and the toilet paper basically started burning, and that meant that we had to do a second evacuation. But both evacuation took place really calmly, and everyone was very orderly, following instructions and waiting outside. Unfortunately, after that, because of the smoke and because of the large amount of water going through the market, we had to take the decision to close for the day, which is, hard for traders, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly on Father's Day weekend, a lot of people doing shopping for lunches on Sunday and so on. Has there been any enduring damage, or is everything all back to normal now?
No structural damage, just, a few things burnt, debris. It took most of the day to clean up the water, sucking up the water, ventilating the space. cleaning out everything, and we are absolutely back as normal today, and very excited to do business as normal.
Yeah, well, that's good. So it's normal market days, Tuesday, today, then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's right.
And be nice if we could get a big stampede of people in, because as you said, so many of those stallholders lost a lot of money on Saturday.
Biggest day of the week, that's tough for traders. So, if you love the market like we all do, it's really time to show your support and come and visit.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, we're going to be heading back in there soon for another OB, no doubt. Fabian Riley, the General Manager of the Adelaide Central Market, thanks for joining us.
Last night on the sports show, Timmy G and Rowie caught up with Graham Corns, who had the inside scoop on Darren Burgess's future. The Crows fitness supremo, of course, linked to a move to Carlton last week, denied by the club. Well, Cornsy had the inside word.
Can we start with Darren Burgess?
Yep, we've got the latest.
Yeah, you got it hot.
Got the right off the press.
You got it off the press. You got it off the hot tasty American donut stand.
From the man himself. Okay.
Good.
Yes. So there we were at the show on Saturday morning, and it was good fun. And we're just talking about Darren Burgess, and will he go, will he stay, and who walked straight past us?
D. Burgess.
Darren Burgess. So I couldn't waste no more. So I'm scared. KG, take over. Okay. And KG, he doesn't know what takeover means, but
yeah, he would by now, surely.
No, he's a professional. He took over. So I said, Darren, will you come on? Will you come on? And he's going, oh, man, I've got the kids here. And, I said, well, are you staying? And he said, yeah. So,
good.
So, Cornsy trying to shoehorn him into a live interview, managed to get the scoop. Nice trade of information, which is comfort to Adelaide fans, I imagine.
Yeah, well, he's hugely well regarded for his excellent fitness work. So, but talk about going straight to the source.
Yep, that's how Cornsy does it. He doesn't stuff around. That's all right. 5AA News is coming up. We've got a jury trial coming up in the next half hour, and Phil Curry in the nation's capital.
When the mornings start getting warmer and the sun rises a little bit earlier, the dream you let lie dormant over winter wakes. It's time to start with Olympic Industries Spring Sale. Huge savings on locally engineered verandas, carports, garages, tool sheds and more. Start building your dream now. And one day you'll look back at where it all started. In your own backyard. With Olympic Industries Spring Sale. On now.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out, while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
The new quarter pounder range is here at Macca's with 4 quarter pounders to try. The OG quarter pounder for the purists, the double quarter pounder for the hungry, and the quarter pounder deluxe for the bougie.
And then the number 4, the new quarter pounder barbecue, bacon and crispy onions for people who love that kind of thing. So which one are you going to choose?
Try the new quarter pounder range today. The OG quarter pounder, the double quarter pounder, the quarter pounder deluxe, and the new quarter pounder barbecue, bacon and crispy onions. Available after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time.
FIVEAA Milk Company will always put SA first, and you can too. When you reach for milk, reach for FIVEAA Milk Company products and support our dairy farmers and their families. We guarantee that all our milk is 100% South Australian and it's always fresh. We have over 24 refrigerated trucks shipping FIVEAA milk to cafes, restaurants and supermarkets all over SA. Look for the local in your supermarket. FIVEAA Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
The Honda mid-size SUV stock clearance is on now. Get 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist, plus a $1,000 Ampol fuel card on 2023 build Honda ZR-V and CR-Vs. Visit us at Formula Honda to test drive today. Ampol fuel card offer valid until September 30. Different warranty applies for vehicles used for commercial purposes. T's and C's at honda.com.au. Hurry into Formula Honda. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury.
Glenelg has something for everyone. Beach, sunsets, cafes, and the $3.9 million grand prize in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. A fully furnished Scott Salisbury masterpiece with soaring ceilings, outdoor living, a swimming pool, and it comes with $500,000. Get your tickets now at homelottery.com.au. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. homelottery.com.au. Licence M14585.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 20 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
The search for a teenage boy feared drowned off Granite Island has resumed this morning. Mehdi Habibi from Blair Athol and other family members had been on a picnic on Sunday for Father's Day. There's heartbreaking footage of the teenager disappearing into the surf. He was posing for photos when he was swept away. Dangerous weather yesterday impacted search efforts. About 1,000 properties are still without power in the Adelaide Hills after Sunday night's wild winds. SA Power Network says the delay is due to the large number of faults in the past day or so. Areas still affected are Cuddly Creek, Gummaraka, Lenswood and around Strathalbyn. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has asked for forgiveness for not being able to bring back alive 6 hostages found dead in Gaza on Saturday. But addressing a media conference, he remained defiant on his demands. More from the BBC's James Landell.
It was an extraordinary mixture of limited contrition with powerful defiance. Politically, there was not a scintilla of movement on his refusal to agree any kind of compromise with Hamas that might leave Israel no longer in military control of a buffer zone in the south of Gaza on the border with Egypt called the Philadelphia Corridor. That is his argument. It is not an argument shared by many figures in Israel's defense community. It is not an argument shared by many of those people protesting on the streets of Jerusalem and Tel Aviv tonight.
A pedestrian is fighting for his life in hospital after being hit by a truck on the Northern Expressway at McDonald Park last night. Major crash officers are investigating the circumstances. The truck driver is assisting with their inquiries. 2 people have been arrested accused of assaulting a man in the city overnight. Police were called to Pulteney Street just after 1 a.m. after they allegedly forced their way into his apartment armed with a knife. Senior Constable Matt Brown says the 42-year-old suffered minor injuries and was treated at the scene by paramedics.
Police searched the area for the suspects and stopped a car on North Terrace just before 2 a.m. and located the pair inside. So a 49-year-old man from Adelaide and a 42-year-old Birkenhead woman were arrested and charged with aggravated serious criminal trespass and assault. The man was also charged with breaching bail, so he was refused bail to appear in court today.
The Greens say making dental part of Medicare would save SA families thousands of dollars a year. SA Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young says dental covered Medicare would deliver urgent cost of living relief and will be a key priority in the negotiations over who forms government post-election. The Greens claim the move would save the average South Australian up to $978 in the first year and up to $10,800 over a decade. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Experience the 2024 new-gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
And now here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Graham. Port Adelaide's players have trained at Alberton last night and are confident Zach Butters will be fine after missing yesterday's press conference with an eye issue. To the Paralympics, Australia's won gold in the pool in the 4x100 metre mixed medley 34-point relay team. Jessie Ongles, Timothy Hodge and Emily Beecroft put in solid swims, but Alexa Leary had plenty of work to do in the final leg, coming from more than 15 metres behind to snatch the gold medal for her country.
Over the top of the Dutch, it's a gold medal coming up for Australia. A gold medal for Alexa Leary. What a result for Australia. They win the mixed 4x100 medley 34-point relay. A flex for Lex, a dominant final leg.
Great stuff. Audio there, thanks to Nine. Let's go to tennis. Beatriz Haddad-Maia has created history, becoming the first Brazilian woman since 1968 to make the quarterfinals at the US Open. She had to beat 2-time champion Caroline Wozniacki to do it, and she did it in a match lasting 2 hours and 40 minutes, finally clinching it with her 3rd match point.
Beatriz Haddad-Maia is a US Open quarter-finalist for the very first time.
Audio there thanks to Nine. Haddad-Maia will now take on Caroline Muhova in the quarterfinals, while on the men's side, Daniil Medvedev and Jack Draper are both through to the final 8, while Jordan Thompson will take on Alex de Minaur in an all-Aussie affair shortly. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Don't miss out on Explorer Caravans spring clearance sale ending this weekend. Explorer Caravans, 345 Prospect Road.
Morning there, got a smash to look out for at the Bay, Brighton Road at Jetty Road as you're heading towards the airport. Really big delays affecting Diagonal Road at the moment too. First, what am I to look out for at Valley View, Grand Junction Road near Walkley's Road? Quite big delays there. And another Bengal to look out for to Rail East, Palantinga Road near Raynell Road. Camrose 5 Drive, Pasadena and Kester's Road at Para Hills West. Combining comfort and cutting-edge technology, make the Mercedes-Benz GLA City Edition yours for $66,900 drive away. Visit Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unley. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Another 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Sunny and 20 today. Tomorrow, possible late shower 26. Thursday, a shower to 27. And Friday, showers back down to 22. Right now, it's 9. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
23 minutes to 8. You're starting to get that tensing up, that feeling of adrenaline coursing through your veins as a Port fan thinking about Thursday night. Let that adrenaline flow because it's going to help you dial 8223 0055 a little bit later in the morning and win yourself tickets to that final Adelaide Oval on Thursday night. We've got them to give away.
Hottest tickets in town.
We'll be doing it a little bit later in the program.
They're all gone, aren't they?
They're all gone.
Sold out.
It's the only place you can get them.
Yep.
So we'll be doing that a little bit later. Also coming up, a jury inspired by National Flag Day. And then after 8:30, a bit more on this flag turn debate. Got heated before 7:30. I'll be very agitated about the Frank Pangallo-led proposal to overcome the lack of right-hand turns in the city of Adelaide. But we'll talk more about that after 8:30. Let's head to Canberra first. Phil Curry is the political editor of the Australian Financial Review, and he's on the line. Morning to you, Phil.
Good morning, fellas. Happy Flag Day.
Yeah, no, you too, Phil. You're waving your Aussie flag. Aussie.
Oh, mate, I'm looking at the big one on top of Parliament. It's been torn to shreds by the wind.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it looks like a tea towel.
Well, I'll have to replace it.
In a rental house.
I saw Sydney Airport yesterday cancelled something like 50 flights. They could only use one runway because of the crosswinds that was so strong.
Oh, yeah, no, it was blowing crazy all over the East Coast. And, yeah, so anyway, there you go.
You better get some Demmers in India. I remember pollen was always really bad in Canberra this time of year.
Indeed.
Hey, mate, I don't know if you were there for Adam Bant's speech at the press club last week, but was he getting a bit ahead of himself, sort of issuing a sort of demand for the conditions on which he was prepared to be part of a minority government? Like, no one's even voted yet.
Look, sort of. He didn't tie it directly to being in minority government, but there's a sort of large growing expectation there will be a minority government. But the thing is, I think I might have explained before, even if Albanese is reduced to minority, less than 76 seats, he's not going to do a power-sharing deal with the Greens like Julia Gillard did. He's just not going to do that. He'll just, get supply and confidence from, when there's 17 crossbenchers, or 15 of them have many, so they'll guarantee supply and confidence, but he won't commit to anything in return for that, and then he'll just attempt to govern. So if the Greens sort of say, if he goes to the Greens and says, I need your support for this, you can either vote for it or you can vote for Peter Dutton or whoever's leading the opposition. That'll be his approach. So there's a lot of posturing going on at the moment. The thing is, Dave, the Greens actually have all the power now because they run the Senate, right? They've got 9 senators or however, 8 or 9. So every time the coalition says we're not voting for something, the opposition opposes Labor, they need the Greens anyway. So it doesn't really change after the election if the Greens have the balance of power in the lower house as well. Bill's got to go through both houses. Yeah. So the Greens actually have all this power now and they choose not to use it. So I think it's probably the whiskey talking a bit.
The whiskey talking. Do you reckon he was on the turts before he gave the speech?
Oh, speaking metaphorically. But no, look, clearly if it's a minority government and the Greens will feel more empowered, but so will a lot of other people on the crossbench. So it's going to be, standing room only at the PM's, in the PM's office. Everyone goes in there with their wish list of demands, and I suspect, he won't do what Julia Gillard did and allow himself to become beholden to it because you can quickly unravel.
He had a bad poll yesterday and overnight. I think he's over in Western Australia at the moment, downplayed it and said, the government at no stage has it lost a news poll, and that's never happened in the entire history of 30 or 40 odd year history of news poll. Do you think you should be concerned though? Because the personal approval rating and disapproval rating, it's pretty much the same as what Scott Morrison had before he got the chop.
Yeah, it's at the same stage. He's at the same level at the same stage. Well, the news poll is 50-50, Dave, so you want to be careful. It doesn't take much for the news poll to become 51-49, and our poll, the one we have in the Financial Review, we've had them at 51, the coalition at 51-49 for the last 2 months, so, within the margin of error. Malcolm Turnbull got in trouble when he started bragging about, remember he said Tony Abbott had been behind for 20 straight news polls, and then
he beat him.
He beat him, and he was in all sorts of trouble. I wouldn't go down that path. Look, the PM's view is that since they got into government in May 2022, we've had 12 interest rate rises, and he's thinking, well, we're still got our nose in front, and that's not bad after all that, right? So they sort of think they've weathered a storm that would kill any other government, and to a point he's right. We've had this inflation crisis and 12 rate rises, and they've still got their nose in front, but. The question is whether they can build from here. Because if the election was held tomorrow, it would be a minority government, and the PM's not very popular. I mean, Peter Dutton in our poll has a higher approval rating, and he's not far behind him as preferred Prime Minister, and I think it's the same in the others. So that's why they spend so much time carpet bombing Dutton. So it's they've weathered the storm, if you like, but they're not in a really strong position to start come the election. So between now and whenever he calls the election, they've got to try and get their vote up a bit, and that's just proving very elusive.
Well, they may even get a kick along if you believe the RBA's forecasting, which has been problematic in recent history. But if you believe it for a moment, so the meetings next year, 17th, 18th of February, and then one at the end of March, 31st of March to the 1st of April, kind of be politically savvy to plonk one a week or two after that, have an election after that, wouldn't it, Phil? Would they be reasonable guides for when we might see a date called?
There's a million things, Will, about the election timing, but they'd be pretty happy if the RBA was to drop rates, and then you'd in the middle of a campaign, just before one, so that would at the same time. Well, at the moment, the RBA is saying we're not touching rates, at least till Christmas. So,
the first one might come in that first.
That's right.
Midway through February, perfectly timed for the election.
Yeah, tomorrow, Lord, there's these things called the National Accounts are released, and that's every 3 months, and that's the state of the economy, how fast the economy is growing or not. And we're expecting it to be pretty anemic tomorrow, so that'll, again, all the pencil heads and the economists will be able to, start making their bold predictions again about what that might mean for a rate cut, but we might have a better idea tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. All the pencil heads. Hey, you're trying to convince your boss, Phil, that maybe this weekend you might need to head up sort of near the Gabba to do a thing about Queensland must-watch marginal seats or something?
Exactly. I was going to go. Someone offered me a ticket, but I chose not to. It's too expensive. It's cost a fortune.
Good thing you didn't come back to Adelaide on Sunday for that Sturt game. My God.
No, yeah. Well, I'm confident, actually. I think we'll win this week. Yep.
The Blues?
We got everyone. Yeah, we got everyone back. We've been through hell. I think Vossi wrestling that car thief to the ground has fired them up. And, watch out.
A good
we're
omen.
Coming.
Yeah,
watch
right.
out. We're coming. Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff, Phil. Phil Curry, the national political editor of the Australian Financial Review. The former Brisbane Lions team, they've got quite a checkered history with cars. Remember when Jonathan Brown got hit by that car?
He did.
And the car was a write-off. That's right. I remember there was a great piece someone wrote. It was only 2 paragraphs long. Jonathan Brown has been hit by a car. Our thoughts are also with the car.
It is the September the 3rd today, which, as Phil mentioned, it's Australian National Flag Day, where everyone's being encouraged to fly the flag today. It celebrates the occasion on this day in 1901 when the Australian flag was chosen and flown for the very first time. Not everyone's a fan, though. Brian in Prospect sent us the text on the Dutton's text line saying, I refuse to fly the Australian flag while it has the Union Jack. I wonder how many of our listeners feel that way. We might put that to the...
Why not?
Might put that to the jury
Is there any republicanism left out there?
Yeah. Let's do,
what was it? It was about 40-60, wasn't it, at the time, when the vote was held in 1999. Not one state voted yes in favour of becoming a republic. Unsurprisingly, the People's Republic of the ACT voted yes.
I'm interested in whether... Because there was a lot of people who I think were notionally Republican who went, this all sounds ridiculous.
Well, the problem was all the Republicans couldn't make up their minds
That's
about
right.
what the model should be.
I wonder if people are more... It's more emotional when it comes to the flag, I think. You don't have to think of a model. You just have to say, do I like that aspect of the design or not? Do I think the Union Jack should be there or not?
There's a lot of other countries that are in the same boat.
Yeah,
New
Commonwealth
Zealand,
countries. Yep.
Fiji. But then there's others such as Canada who went, no, we're getting our own flag.
Mm.
Canadian flag's terrific.
Well, it is National Flag Day, and we're going to be putting a Union Jack question to you after the break. So if you've got strong thoughts on the flags, get calling. 8223 0000 is the number, and be part of our jury. Let's check traffic first. Aged 45 to 49, with the Jodie Lee Foundation encourages you to search free bowel screening kit and order yours today.
At the Bay, got a two-car collision causing really big delays at the moment. Brighton Road near Jetty Road as you're heading towards the airport. Delays back onto Diagonal Road. Ranella East a crash there too. Palantinga Road near Raynell Road. And a burst watermain causing delays as well this morning at Valley View, Grand Junction Road near Walkley's Road. Early morning cameras, Goodwood Road, Colonel Light Gardens and Golden Grove Road at Golden Grove. Craving a snack? Grab an OTR Traveller Pie sausage roll for just $3. Rich, authentic flavours at an unbeatable price. OTR, making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Deliver more with Toyota, the world's #1 forklift brand. Choose from a great range including pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, the Lynn Andrews team have made it easy for landlords to manage residential and commercial property. From single homes to multiple commercial holdings, our passion for property investment means we have a great deal of knowledge. How to do it safely and properly, matching the right tenant with the right property every time. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Don't let the sun set on your energy savings. With NRG Solar's cutting-edge batteries, your energy independence lasts long after sunset. Enjoy the freedom of solar, even when you're not home. Experience the future of energy. NRG Solar's new warehouse is fully stocked with wholesale solar and battery equipment. See it for yourself. NRG Solar, 1275 South Road, St Mary's, or call 1300 858 160 to explore a brighter, more sustainable tomorrow.
Did you know that we have a little bit of the Netherlands right here in South Australia? If you're wondering where, it's the Dutch Pantry in Klemzig. It's like a little village where you'll find authentic Dutch products, fresh produce, daily baked cakes and biscuits, and a whole menu of delicious Dutch meals in their cafe for brekkie, brunch or lunch.
They are excellent cooks, the Dutch. And we've got a fantastic Dutch cultural heritage here in South Australia. Lots of people came out from Holland after the war. And the food here, just superb. All the classics, all the Dutch classics, croquettes, mini pancakes. I think they're called poffertjes, aren't they? Dutch pea soup, along with cones of Belgian fries, topped with mayo. Biscoff milkshakes. While you're there also, take a leisurely stroll past the windmill, admire the tulips and also the Delft Blue China.
Experience the taste of Amsterdam right here in SA, the Dutch Pantry, located 72 OG Road, Klemzig. Just look for the big windmill.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
In the criminal justice system, all defendants are innocent until proven guilty, either by confession, plea bargain, or trial by jury. This is one of those trials.
It's Australian National Flag Day today, celebrating the first time the flag was flown, the 3rd of September 1901. And we're putting the flag to the jury test this morning. Got a few texts from listeners who said they want the Union Jack off the flag. So we're asking you for the jury this morning, the Australian flag with the Union Jack on, fly it or flick it? Flick the Union Jack or fly it with a Union
Fly
Jack
it or
on there?
flick it.
Let us know. Get calling for the jury right now. 8223 0000 is the number. Flag enthusiasts, people that are flying the flag today, people that want change, people that want it to stay the same as it's been. Let your voice be heard as part of the jury. Fly it or flick it.
We've got a very politically diverse audience. Like we've got,
Yes.
you know, some people might go, "Oh, everyone listens to 5AA, they must be conservative." We've got plenty of progressive listeners too. People like, where is he? Neil from North Adelaide. He says, "I think the Aboriginal flag with the Southern Cross on it would look sensational, and it would be quite inclusive." Conversely, I think that'd be a red rag to a bull to a lot of our other listeners who are saying, not only do they love our flag, they get annoyed that it flies next to the two other flags. The two other national flags, namely the Aboriginal flag and the Torres Strait Islander flag.
Whole heap of text coming through. The jury is assembling on 8223 0000. A lot of space for the jury. I reckon this is going to get a lot of feedback, this one. So get them coming in. It is Flag Day. Let's have the debate with the jury, starting with juror number one. Juror number one, the Union Jack on the flag. You're flying it or flicking it?
Hello, juror number one.
Yeah, hello. I think I'm in. No, keep the flag and do not touch the flag. Thousands of people died under that flag, and it would be a sacrilege to absolutely touch it.
All right, juror number
Good
one.
on you, juror
says
number one.
Fly it. Let's go to juror number two. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Mine is to keep it. It is part of our history. Why do they attack our history all the time? That created Australia as a country. Let it be. We're all Australians.
Yep. Juror number two
Thank you, juror
says
number two.
fly it. Juror number three. Good morning.
Yeah, fly it, guys. And if there are a couple of flags together, we leave ours as the highest one. Like if you got three there, ours is in the middle, flying the highest, and the other two that represent other countries fly it a foot lower. Yeah, leave it alone.
Well, I think that's flag etiquette, isn't it? There's that whole realm of rules and things you adopt with flag. I think the Australian one always has to fly the highest.
I think that's right. Yeah, because you think about outside councils and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's generally the rule. You're right, though. Like, there's certain ways you're meant to fold flags.
That's right. Half mast doesn't mean halfway up the flagpole. It means a flag's height lower than where it would usually sit. All sorts of rules like that. Juror number four, good morning. Fly it or flick it?
Fly it high as you can get it. It's a beautiful flag, and I don't want to see it changed one bit.
A lot more flight on the open line than there is on the Dutton's text line. Juror number five, good morning.
Morning, boys. I'd flip it with a capital F.
We got one.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Good on you, juror number five. Still time for some more calls. 8223
Get the Union Jack
0000.
off. What's the Barmy Army song? Get your stupid stars off our flag. How funny are they?
Let's do some Dutton's text because there's heaps coming through on the for the jury.
I tell you what, the people who don't want it changed are super impassioned about it and regard it as an attack on our cultural heritage. People like Lee, who says in all caps, for emphasis, keep my flag. Karen says the same thing. Fly it, leave our history alone, for goodness sake. Someone else says here, a few people saying this, get rid of the Union Jack and put the Aboriginal flag in the corner. Not popular. Any change, not popular with most of the texters, though. Someone here says, look, until we become a republic, the Union Jack has to stay. I actually wonder, what's the difference between voter sentiment on the flag v. the republic?
Yeah.
I reckon there might be more people who are Republicans as opposed to flag changes. I reckon there'd be more...
I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's a different audience. It's not one for one.
No, it's not. It's not. And maybe there's some people who aren't Republicans but think the flag should change.
It's incredible how passionate the Dutton's text line is. Someone else has just sent through in all caps, fly it high. Another person's written, flick it, with 4 exclamation marks. I think it goes to fly it, though.
The thing I would say to the flag lovers is it's actually possible to love Australia without loving the flag. You know, you can really love Australia but have an issue with the fact that the Union Jack is in the corner of our flag. I'm sure some Republicans would say, or some flag dislikers would say, that it is their love of Australia that motivates them to demand the removal of the Union Jack. So everyone's coming at it from a position of sympathy towards the country, I think, or affection, rather, not sympathy. But overwhelmingly, though, if this was a news poll, I reckon we're running 80%.
80, yeah.
70-80% keep it.
Yeah, I wonder if it would suffer from what we've just seen on the text line, whereby when put to a vote of some sort, the opposition is much more... the keep it people are much more emotionally attached than I reckon the change it people would be. There'd be some people that are passionately about change it, but I think a lot of people in that camp are just...
Well,
they'd shoulder shrug.
Quite clearly, the reason a lot of the keepers are in all caps is because a lot of people see this as being part of that same continuum of change the date.
Mm.
You know, it's this sense that all of the sort of, you know, Anglo-Saxon Western sort of heritage of this country since 1788 has somehow become a source
something
of
to be ashamed. Yeah, that's right.
And that's what gives people the you-know-whats.
Mm. Well, I think the flag's a symbol, but there's more than symbolism right throughout Australian society, like the Westminster system. Like, there are things that are ingrained that are directly inherited from our British forebears that are hallmarks of the Australian society, how we order things, how justice works, the principles of individual liberty and so forth. Like, the symbol's one thing, but there are far more concrete elements that we've inherited than just some sort of symbolism. So those things should be celebrated.
Yeah,
that model of democracy is the best model of democracy.
Completely.
Well, it's a good point. This shaming of this whole part of Australia's history is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Mike in Manningham's got a story for us. Morning to you, Mike.
Good morning. I recall at one of the more recent Ashes rounds here, one of the retired Pommy cricketers referred to our flag as Britain at night.
Britain at night. That's very funny, Mike. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Mike. 8223 0000 is the number. You can text us on the Dutton's text line as well. Still lots coming in on 044808 1395. Dutton's car dealerships in the Adelaide Hills and Murray Bridge. Dutton's, they're easy to do business with.
I tell you what, there's a few people who've really got a dog in the fight with this one. Mainly Maxine, who says, my tattoo cannot be changed. I love the Australian flag so much I've got it on my shoulder.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to go and get that redone, would you?
No, that would be unfortunate. Good on you, Maxine. 5AA News Time, breaking at 8 in just a moment.
What's on your bucket list? Skydiving? Swimming with dolphins? Hot air ballooning? Before you plan a bucket list, plan your will with Donlan Lawyers. A will, power of attorney and advanced care directive speak for you when you can't. It means you and your loved ones will be taken care of. Visit donlanlawyers.com. Put it on your bucket list. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
The expert hearing team at Hearing Australia gives all Australians the quality hearing care they deserve, which is why we are Reader's Digest's most trusted hearing brand for the 4th year running. To celebrate, get your free 15-minute hearing check for adults and $0 fully subsidised hearing aids for eligible pensioners. Why trust your hearing to anyone else? Book an appointment today with Australia's #1 trusted hearing brand.
Hearing Australia.
Other services may attract fees. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
I have a riddle for you. What do you call someone who enjoys a delicious meal of fish and chips, a beef schnitty burger, or a chicken wrap for just $15 with a stunning view of Port River at the Lighthouse Wharf Hotel during the week? Smart. Head into the Lighthouse Wharf Hotel any day of the week and grab a $15 lunch special. Also, if you're looking for a stellar function space, Lighthouse Wharf Hotel does that too. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Breaking news from Yes, your energy saving solutions. Thanks to mid-year updates to the SA Government's REPS initiative, you can qualify for a new air conditioner at our lowest price ever. Yes now offers eligible concession households a fully installed 2.6 kilowatt Rinnai system from only $299. Enjoy comfort all year round and join over 60,000 Adelaide homes that have said yes to lowering their energy bills. For terms and conditions on this limited offer from your energy saving solutions, visit yess.net.au.
I'll grab a few people I know. We'll mark out some places to go. There's no invitation, just a destination, and that's the best freedom I know. Jump in the Jayco. Jump in the Jayco. the best freedom I know.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Sunny and 20 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Graham Goodings.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
The search for a missing teenager off Granite Island will continue today. Mel Usher reports.
Mehdi Habibi slipped off rocks at Granite Island on Sunday afternoon. There's heartbreaking footage of the teenager disappearing into the surf. He was posing for photos when he was swept away. There have been no sightings since he initially fell into the water at Victor Harbour for a Father's Day picnic. Dangerous weather yesterday impacted search efforts. The search will resume this morning with better conditions forecast. Police from the Water Operations Unit, Polair Crews, Surf Rescue, National Parks, Volunteer Marine Rescue and SES members are assisting local patrols and members of the public in their search.
2 people forced their way into a city apartment at knife point early this morning and assaulted a man. The 42-year-old suffered only minor injuries, but the pair set off a firearm in the Pulteney Street building as they left, forcing everyone to evacuate. Police later pulled over a vehicle on North Terrace and arrested the suspects. The 49-year-old Adelaide man and 42-year-old Birkenhead woman have been charged with aggravated serious criminal trespass and assault. The man was also breaching his bail. The old Bushman Hotel at Gawler was robbed overnight. Senior Constable Matt Brown says 2 men entered the gaming room just before 3 a.m. and threatened staff.
One of the men was armed with a firearm and the other was armed with a knife, but no one was injured at the hotel. And the suspects left the scene in a black Mercedes sedan which has a white interior. The car was driven by a third person who didn't get out of the car. So anyone who may have witnessed the incident or saw a car matching that description in the Gawler area is asked to call Crime Stoppers.
Despite the all-time high real estate prices, first home buyers are entering the market in record numbers in South Australia. HomeStart has set a new lending record in the last financial year with $1.25 billion worth of loans. Treasurer Stephen Mulligan says the results show the value of HomeStart providing a pathway for South Australians otherwise locked out of the property market.
Nearly 2,000 first home buyers took out a loan last financial year. That's the highest on record for HomeStart. And it just goes to show that despite a tight housing market, there's never been a better time for young South Australians to get into housing.
Boredom has topped the list as the feeling most likely to make Australians reach for a snack. The CSIRO has released the findings of a survey on people's food habits, with 72% respondents rating chocolate as an irresistible flavour, with cheese the second most popular. Research scientist and dietitian Gilly Hendry says the research is looking into how we can live a healthier lifestyle.
If people have identified these foods as being problematic and they're trying to manage their weight, then yes, we need to help them understand why is it that they're going to those foods and what strategies can we help to become aware of that and then help to manage that.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Experience the 2024 new-gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
And here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Graham. Port Adelaide ruckman Jordan Sweet has allayed fears of a knee injury after copping a knock during a collision last night at training. He was soon back out on the track as the Power continued preparing for Thursday night's qualifying final against Geelong. Meantime, AFL boss Andrew Dillon has rejected suggestions the finals fixture is unfair to the loser of the Sydney GWS clash. Whoever loses this Saturday's match will have to play a knockout final in Week 2 with just 6 days' notice. Well, the Steelers have bounced back from a heartbreaking semi-final loss to win a bronze medal at the Paralympics. Brady Evans reports.
The Australian wheelchair rugby team has defeated Great Britain 50-48 in the bronze medal match. The result coming just 24 hours after the Steelers were left shattered by missing out on the opportunity to play for gold. Riley Batt says winning bronze is bittersweet.
Probably should be playing tonight in the final, but unfortunately those little errors yesterday, it was bloody hard to sleep last night.
Teammates Bo Vernon and James McQuillan made their Paralympic debuts in Paris and say it's been an incredible experience.
One of the best moments of my life.
To be able to get up for the Rose Gold today, it's pretty special and we'll celebrate accordingly.
The South Africa Rugby Union has apologised to the All Blacks for disrupting their pre-game haka. Instead of remaining silent, as is tradition, the final moments of the haka were drowned out by music, fireworks and a flyover by an A380 airline. SA Rugby says it was down to timekeeping challenges and simple human error. Meantime, Kookaburra's coach Colin Batch is stepping down from the role after a disappointing Olympics campaign. Batch spent 8 years at the helm. And at the US Open, wins for Daniil Medvedev and Jack Draper as they advance to the quarterfinals on the men's side, while on the women's, Jessica Pegula, Karolina Muchova and Beatrice Haddad-Meyer have also advanced to the final 8. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Don't miss out on Explorer Caravan's spring clearance sale ending this weekend. Explorer Caravans, 345 Prospect Road.
There's a two-car collision at the Bay causing really big delays and headaches this morning. It's on Brighton Road at Jetty Road. Delays in all directions back onto and including Diagonal Road. Burst Waterway slowing things up today at Valley View, Grand Junction Road near Walkleys Road, and busy South Road through Edwardstown for work speeds at 40. Camera this morning, Price Avenue at Clapham. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA-approved repairers across SA. You know you can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automaster's technician.
Sunny and 20 today, then really warming up. Tomorrow, a possible late shower, 26. Thursday, a shower to 27. Then Friday, showers and back down to 22. Right now, it's 10. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
7 minutes after 8, former Liberal opposition leader David Spears has just touched down back in Adelaide. Been in Scotland at a wedding.
It's a wedding that didn't exist.
Wedding that didn't exist, and then it existed, and then he wasn't the leader anymore, and the new leader wasn't sure when he was going to return.
He can do what he likes now, though.
Well, he's a backbencher. He can do what he
As long as he's still looking after his electorate.
Correct.
So he's had his holiday again.
First time, though, he's been questioned as he got off the plane today about how he felt about how everything has transpired in his absence. Hannah Ford for 7 News was at the airport. Hannah, good morning to you. What did David Spears have to say for himself?
Well, he definitely wasn't expecting us, I don't think. He touched down with his baseball cap on backwards and like everyone looks, I guess, after getting off a long flight, but wasn't expecting us to be there, I don't think. He said he's feeling very relaxed now. He's been following Vincent Tarsia's movements from afar and says he's pretty disheartened that he woke up to find out that he'd been dumped from the front bench by the media and not from a phone call from Vincent Tarsia himself. We also asked him about the fact that Vincent thinks that they are friends. And he was very clear that they are colleagues. He didn't say they weren't friends exactly, but he didn't really say they were either. He's very strict on the fact that they are colleagues, and he wasn't very, complimentary of the way things have started for Vincent, saying things are obviously very, very, very shaky, and that he has sort of Mount Everest to climb.
Right.
Win the election.
Doesn't sound, Hannah, like he's gone out of his way to help out the new leader of the party.
No, he wasn't. I would say he wasn't complimentary at all.
He sounds like he's enjoying his new role of not being the opposition leader more than his former role of being the opposition leader, though.
He does. He was telling us that he does feel very relaxed, that he's very happy being on the backbench, although he wasn't happy with how it found out. And that he was happy with a couple of policies that Vincent's taken up that were his decisions.
Yeah.
He was very clear on saying he was very relaxed and happy.
Was he quizzed at all about what kind of communication, if any, he's had with Vincent Tarsi? So he clearly wasn't told about being ditched from the front bench, but there was a lot made in the early days that Vincent Tarsi said he'd made a call to him and it was clear that call hadn't been answered. But does it sound like they've had any conversations whatsoever?
It sounds like they've had one brief conversation, and when we asked him or quizzed him about possibly meeting with him now that he's back, he sort of left that up in the air too.
I think they spoke, as you say, Hannah, briefly, and it was the Thursday before he flew out to Scotland, and it was also a few days before Vincent Tarsia unveiled his front bench, or maybe a couple of days before. So it doesn't sound like in that conversation Vincent Tarzia told him that he wasn't going to be on the front bench. I don't know. I'd love to hear from our listeners who live in the seat of Bright down there in Hallett Cove, Shido Parkway. Do you does it thrill you that your local member is now more relaxed and happy than he was before? Is that the KPI you most want your local member to meet, or do you want them on the ground looking after you?
Looking forward to hearing those answers on 7 News from 6 tonight. Thank you for that, Hannah. Seeing the backwards cap as well had a real Leighton Hewitt sort of vibe to it.
Yeah. Who does that when they're not 14 years old? Just asking the question. Was he saying Balboa when he got off the plane as well?
Come on, Rock!
That's right.
All right. Let's go to breaking it up.
Well, many a true word might be said in jest. We thought we were joking last week, and this only happened last Thursday. We're going to set the scene for today's Breaking at 8 by playing you the final seconds of our regular weekly chat with Matt Abraham, and we were talking about this tactically regrettable thought bubble that Adrian Pederick, Liberal Shadow Assistant Minister, had, where he was speculating about how one way to get the pressure on emergency departments down was to bring in a gap fee so that people who were sort of turning up frivolously faced a financial penalty for doing so. As desperate as it may be, with a crisp grab of Adrian Pederick on his feet in Parliament saying, if there was a gap fee for people turning up to emergency that didn't get admitted, I think you'd see a drastic reduction in people attending EDs. So you excise that quote in isolation and you ignore this one. I don't think it would be something politically saleable for probably anyone.
Yeah, so why are you floating it?
So
I know.
But you take that first quote, you put sinister music over it, and in 18 months' time it's like, the Liberals have been secretly planning to introduce a patient tax. This is what Adrian Pederick...
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
It's an ad, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you make Adrian Pederick look evil, though? I mean, that'd be the challenge.
I don't think anyone
it?
knows who he is. You can't make Adrian Pederick look evil.
Well, could you make him look visible?
Well, hey, presto, it's happened. So this piece of paper that I'm holding in my hand, not trying to paraphrase Neville Chamberlain there, yesterday, thousands of households, including mine, received this yellow glossy card that says, say no to Liberal MP's idea to pay gap fees for hospital emergency department visits. Then it's got a QR code. Scan here to sign the petition. It says your Medicare card, not your credit card, should determine the health care you receive. Now, I scanned it. It takes you through to a change.org petition that's got a picture of a Medicare card on one side, Labor's position, and then a cash register on the other side. Now, I can't. Two things to be made. Two points to be made.
Is there an asterisk that says written by D. Penberthy?
No. It says down here authorised. I can't believe how shameless Labor are to go this far with it. Now,
considering the background of this in Parliament, he did say, "Well, you could never do this, but this would be one thing that theoretically would help."
Yes. I mean, it was the dumbest thing, particularly with the change of leadership, and particularly given that Adrian Pederick is meant to be Vincent Tarzia's right-hand man. I mean, he's the shadow assistant minister to the leader of the opposition. But what this little tactic shows, and every household, my understanding is that every household, or certainly every household in a marginal seat, is going to be getting one. Listeners will have got these yesterday. It shows what the Liberals are up against in terms of the Labor machine. Because these comments that Pederick made were made last Wednesday. We were speculating about how they could be used in a scare campaign on Thursday morning. And by Monday, thousands of letterboxes have been hit with this flyer/petition. The other thing, it's a reminder, and this isn't said in any judgmental way because a lot of people are politically disengaged, it shows how ignorance is kryptonite in politics, because all Labor want is someone who doesn't listen to news and current affairs programs, who only gets the news from Facebook or from what their friends tell them or from reading something that they get out of the letterbox and goes, oh no, have you heard about this secret Liberal plan to make us all pay to go to the emergency department? Labor has played the libs off a break. It's the first stuff-up of Vincent Tarsi's leadership. He should tell Adrian Pederick, mate, next time you're going to go off-piste and start speculating about different policy ideas that people could hypothetically explore, do it at a dinner party, not when Parliament's actually sitting.
You should at least get some sort of credit on there. I can't believe there's not something.
I know, but we're sitting there rapiding on, thinking surely even Labor couldn't be that venal and opportunistic. Well, in the space of 5 days, there it is, folks.
They've turned your challenge accepted.
That's right. Hold my beer.
16 after 8. Let's talk about this giant avocado. We started mentioning it in our 7 o'clock news wrap this morning. It's soon to be released, the Jala avocado plant that was coming to hardware stores and nurseries in southeast Queensland and North Queensland from mid-September, including Fleming's Nurseries, Queensland. I think they've already got it there. Jess Fleming joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Jess, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So these avocados, we spoke about them earlier, they can grow to 4 times the size of the average Hass, so between 1 and 1.2 kilos. They're just absolute monsters. Are you selling these trees right now, or are they yet to be released?
We have. We've just started shipping from our nursery this week into some of the local southeast Queensland nurseries, but we're hoping over the next few months they'll be hitting interstate as well.
Do you reckon these trees would grow in a temperate South Australian climate, Jess? Because we've got a lot of avocados down here in, there's a plantation, I think, in McLaren Vale. A lot of suburban gardens have got them. Will they grow okay here?
Look, we're really hoping to. We haven't had them growing in those sort of temperate locations yet, but we are hoping that they'll be similar to a lot of the other variety cultivars, a lot of the other avocado cultivars, sorry. That is going to be the million-dollar question. We don't see why they wouldn't. There would be pockets where they would be suitable, but then there might be pockets of Adelaide and South Australia where they might not be suitable. It's all just going to depend on that climate in that region, the altitude, and how much frost you're going to get in that backyard, say.
So how did you get them this big? Are they, because there's no natural avocado that weighs this much. How did you?
Well,
is it crossbred with something?
No, they are actually a natural bred avocado. So no genetic modification has gone into these. They are just the work of the bees and the pollen. They've got 2 parents, and the way that parent DNA matched has just come out with this ginormous avocado.
That's ridiculous. That's so big.
They taste the same, Jess?
They taste better, in my opinion.
Wow.
I might be a little biased, but we did have some taste testing samples go out to sort of the nursery industry last month. They all expected them to not taste very good, but they were absolutely blown away just by the flavour, the creaminess, the butteriness and the nuttiness that came in the giant fruit.
So how do you stop them from going black in the fridge, Jess? Because unless you're like a family of 12, you're not going to get through one in a single sitting.
Well, another really great thing about the Jala is it has a really slow oxidisation process. So that means it doesn't actually go brown very quickly.
Yeah, right.
You can chop the fruit open, leave it in the fridge for nearly a week. I've left it chopped up in the fridge for about a week, and it's still quite a edible shade of green.
Yeah, right. And do you put a bit of lime juice on it and obviously cover it with Glad Wrap, or just the Glad Wrap alone?
I just Glad Wrap it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's just another really good selling point, and point of the fruit is that it doesn't brown as quickly as, say, something like Hass.
Yeah, Hasses tend to go black pretty fast, don't they?
They do. They're sort of eaten, cut and eat, whereas these are cut and savour.
Do these take a long time to ripen? Because I've got a tree at home that was there when we bought our house years ago, and it actually looks a bit like yours. Like it's more of a yellow than a green flesh, and they take about 2 weeks to ripen when you pick them.
Yeah, it's going to depend on when they're picked. So all avocados will have their optimal picking time. So if you were to pick an avocado too early, say, it will take longer to ripen than if you picked it at the optimal time. Now, working out what that optimal time is the tricky part.
And it probably
It's
varies
not
a
going to
lot
come
from
down
state
to
to state
seasonality.
too.
Yeah, it does.
Seems to be
so
like
Jalas
April,
are pretty
May
good to pick here. Yeah, Jalas are pretty good to pick here from, say, late June through to end of August.
Yeah, right, okay.
So if you pick them earlier, you'll probably find that ripening time might be double.
So how many litres of guacamole do you get through a week in your place?
Quite a lot. I've had probably too much for this season, to be honest.
You're all guacamole'd out.
Yes, definitely. But no, it is wonderful, and I can't wait for next season when we can get some more fruit off the trees.
They're just remarkable things. We had a picture on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook, YouTube live stream, someone holding an old-fashioned avocado, someone holding one of these, and it looks like a look at that, there it is there. It looks like a Photoshop mock-up. It's hard to believe. Fascinating. We're going to see these around the place, it sounds like. Jess Fleming from Fleming's Nurseries in Queensland.
Well, I wonder what they're going to sell for, too.
Well, should we ask Jess?
Jess is still online. Yeah, Jess, how much would one set you back, do you reckon?
I'm unsure about that, sorry. It's all going to be up to the independent greengrocer on how much they're going to be selling the fruit for.
Yeah. Well, geez, if they're 4 times the size of a standard avocado, and you're lucky to get an avocado for $2, $2.50. But you see them for like $4 sometimes. Like the price jumps around so much.
Thank you for that, Jess. Jess Fleming from Fleming's Nurseries in Queensland. If you want to get tickets to see Port Geelong Thursday night, Adelaide Oval, first final, the 2024 final series, stay listening because we're giving tickets away on the other side of this break. Traffic first, age 45 to 49, the Jodie Lee Foundation encourages you to search free bowel screening kit. Order yours today.
Thanks, Will. Got a 2-car collision still causing really big delays at the Bay at the moment. Brighton Road near Jetty Road. Delays in all directions back to and including Diagonal Road. Waterloo Corner, 4-car collision there. Waterloo Corner Road at Port Wakefield Road, and slow for a burst watermain at Valley View. Grand Junction Road near Walkleys Road. Cameras this morning, Old Belair Road, Mitcham, and Price Avenue at Clapham. Power up Android and Telstra. Supercharge your creativity with Google AI on Android with Australia's best mobile network. Search Telstra Android deals. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
You know, the AFL, they like to float. Just float something out there, see what the reaction is. The captain will receive a Ron Barassi medal. I'm just not sure they understand that it is the Australian football. It never ceases to amaze.
The 5AA Sports Show.
How could you even consider this?
It is what it is, because they are VFL-centric.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The business sector has had incredible advances in AI. One solution can show you how AI can streamline your business, introducing efficiencies you never thought possible. You'll save money and time, unlock new growth avenues, and you'll be keeping up with the rest of the business community. With AI and One Solution, you can innovate, optimize, and excel across every facet of your business. One Solution will show you how. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
Gone are the days of bulky solar panels. NRG Solar is ushering in a new era of sleek, efficient solar technology. With just a few panels, harness the power of the sun like never before. The equation is simple. More efficiency, more savings. Join the revolution with NRG Solar. Discover simplicity at 1275 South Road St Mary's or online at nrgsolar.com.au. NRG Solar, for a brighter, more sustainable tomorrow.
When you die, who gets what? Will your kids or relatives argue over your estate? Will your beneficiaries be protected? Will your estate be tax effective? Will your wishes be respected and carried out? Speak with Donlan Lawyers now for peace of mind. Donlan Lawyers for wills and estate planning. Visit donlanlawyers.com. That's donlanlawyers.com. Join Gliderol in celebrating the Colorbond Steal the Show promotion. By purchasing a roller door or sectional door made from Colorbond steel from Gliderol, now or within the last 12 months, you could win $100,000. Visit gliderol.com.au today for a free measure and quote. Retail customers only. T's and C's apply. See colorbond.com/steal the show. 18 plus only. Strict purchase and eligibility criteria apply. Ends 30/11/24.
Nearly 1 million Australians get a pathology test every week. Almost all these tests, like blood tests, are free because they're bulk billed. 70% of all medical decisions rely on pathology tests. Doctors depend on them to diagnose illness, disease and infection. But these services are under threat. So to keep pathology accessible for all Australians, we need funding to keep pathology bulk billed. We need our voice to be heard. Visit keeppathologybulkbill.com.au. Authorised by LWET, Australian Pathology Canberra.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
25 after 8. Rob on the Duttons text line says the avocados are the Brussels sprout of the salad world. Is that right?
No way. Both of those things are excellent.
Controversial, Rob.
Brussels sprouts are excellent too, Rob.
Tim Whetstone, the member for Chafee, said to me that the Jala avocado won't survive in frost-prone areas. So it'll struggle in parts of South Australia. He says to stop browning, you leave the stone in the remaining half.
Yeah, quite a few people have texted in saying that. Hey, Rob, get yourself some bacon and cook it real fast and chuck Brussels sprouts in with it as well, and maybe put in some flaked almonds or some hazelnuts. Plenty of butter. You'll love Brussels sprouts after you've done that.
If you want to get along to the footy on Thursday night, there's a little old thing called the qualifying final that's taking place at Adelaide Oval. We have tickets. The good news is not just today. We have tickets today, we have tickets tomorrow, and we have tickets on Thursday. Each time we're giving away 2 tickets, and each time you need to complete the lyrics to a song that has a Port Adelaide link. We play a snippet of the song. It's not going to be the most obvious part. It'll be a part of the song. If you can successfully complete the lyric, we give you the 2 tickets. It's as simple as that. Port v Geelong qualifying final, Thursday, 5th of September. The build-up to this...
Not the qualifying final.
Yeah, qualifying final.
Is it called the qualifying?
Yeah.
Oh, of course it is. Of course
Qualify,
because
qualifying for the prelim.
The
other, the knockouts are the elimination finals. 8223 or 0055, whatever you prefer. Get calling right now. Lucy and Emily out in the booth, ready to take your call.
These are the hottest tickets in town, folks.
My goodness. You know what the atmosphere is going to be like?
Crashed last week when they went on sale, so this is one of the few ways you can get your mitts on one.
That 5 minutes before the bounce, finals at home, first final 2.
Yeah.
So the whole footy world's watching. That is going to be spine-tingling.
Well, as Rosie was saying in the paper today too, it's a huge extra kick for Port against the Cats.
Absolutely.
Like, imagine the Cats sitting there would never tear us apart going, oh, here we go.
Yeah, you got 50,000. There'll be 50,000 there.
Remind Lisa of her review of Gladiator the other day. Like, it's a significant extra edge that Port have going into that game.
They'll win this final in this life or the next. 8223 is the number that Roger in Windvale called. Roger, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, thanks, Rog.
Roger, we need you to complete this lyric, and if you know it, give us a bit of passion.
I told you that we could fly, 'cause we all have wings.
Never tear us apart.
Sorry, Roger.
Oh,
He gave us a bit of gusto, but the lyric was wrong.
Come on, Port fans, up to it.
Never tear us apart is, of course, the song.
Yeah.
8223 00. Full marks for selling
That's hard.
it.
I feel sorry for Roger because I don't know any of the lyrics of this song.
Don't you?
Well, being a Crows fan, every time I hear it, I turn it off.
Not an NXS man.
Oh, yeah, up to sort of the swing. After that, I'm out.
Okay. 8223 0000. Keep the calls coming in. There's a lifeline.
Shabu Shabar.
For
That's
Port
the record
fans.
you need.
Richard in Ross, Trevor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, Roger, let's do this. Complete this lyric.
I told you that we could fly, 'cause we all have wings.
But some of us don't know why.
Sing it, Richard. You are off to the footy, Richard, Thursday night. That was superb.
That's fantastic.
Good on you, mate.
Who you taking, mate?
Thank
You got you and one other ticket.
I'll probably go with my wife, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, mate, it's going to be one hell of an atmosphere, that is for sure.
I think you're going to have a very good night, mate. Will and I can't see Port losing this, and we're not trying to put the kibosh on you. I just think on form...
If you're less emotional about it, and I said this to Rowie on Monday, and you're scientific about it, if this is round 7, Thursday night, between these two, with everything we've seen, you're tipping at Port Adelaide by 30 plus.
Yeah.
It's a 5-goal win.
Mm.
It's just emotion.
Yeah.
It gets in the way. Recent finals history, but
They look
scientifically,
like,
it's hard
like
to make a
different
case.
side. Compared to last year where they were hobbling towards the finals, this is very different. The trajectory's going the other way this time.
All right, we're going to do something that's potentially dangerous, given we dabbled in these waters at 7 o'clock and things got very, very heated. After the break, we're talking hook turns.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 20 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
A pedestrian is fighting for life in hospital after being hit by a truck on the Northern Expressway at McDonald Park last night. Major crash officers are investigating the circumstances. The truck driver is assisting with their inquiries. 2 people have been arrested accused of assaulting a man in the city overnight. Police were called to Pulteney Street just after 1 a.m. after they allegedly forced their way into his apartment armed with a knife. Senior Constable Matt Brown says the 42-year-old suffered minor injuries and was treated at the scene by paramedics.
Police searched the area for the suspects and stopped a car on North Terrace just before 2 a.m. and located the pair inside. So a 49-year-old man from Adelaide and a 42-year-old Birkenhead woman were arrested and charged with aggravated serious criminal trespass and assault. The man was also charged with breaching bail, so he was refused bail to appear in court today.
Almost 1,000 properties are still without power in the Adelaide Hills after Sunday night's wild winds. Areas still affected are Cuddly Creek, Gummaraka, Lenswood and around Strathalbyn. SA Power Networks says power restoration is taking longer than normal due to the large number of outages. Homestart has helped thousands of South Australians get into the property market. Around 2/3 of all new customers with Homestart were first home buyers, with almost 3,000 loans settled in the last financial year, the highest level of lending since 2006. Treasurer Stephen Mulligan says the results show the value of Homestart, providing a pathway for South Australians otherwise locked out of the property market.
Spurred on by having to pay no stamp duty and low deposit loans without lenders' mortgage insurance, first home buyers have taken advantage of good lending conditions to get themselves into the home market in record numbers.
The Israeli Prime Minister has reiterated Hamas will pay a heavy price for the 7th of October massacre as he faces ongoing pressure over progress on a deal to release hostages. While Benjamin Netanyahu was delivering an address, hundreds of demonstrators gathered outside his residence in protest. Former Liberal leader David Spears has touched down in Adelaide this morning after a family trip to Scotland. He was greeted by reporters at the airport, including Seven's Hannah Ford.
Says he's pretty disheartened that he woke up to find out that he'd been jumped from the front bench by the media and not from a phone call from Vincent Tarzia himself. We also asked him about the fact that Vincent thinks that they are friends, and he was very clear that they are colleagues.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Experience the 2024 new-gen Mitsubishi Triton with 10 years warranty and servicing. Test drive at Agostino Mitsubishi.
And here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Graham. Port Adelaide's players will have a light day as they continue preparing for Thursday night's clash against Geelong at Adelaide Oval. Zach Butters is expected to be okay after missing yesterday's press conference with an eye infection. Well, more gold for our Paralympians in Paris. The day started with an early gold for Lauren Parker in the para-triathlon. That was the women's PTWC, before victory in the pool late in the day for the mixed 4x100 metre relay, 34 points. A come-from-behind victory from Alexa Leary helped seal the win in a new Paralympic record time. Her mother says she knew her daughter could close the gap.
It's an incredible swim. She knew what to do in the end, and I never ever doubt her. So, just amazing swim from her to pull it back in the end and come through. It was awesome.
Great stuff. Audio there thanks to Nine. The Aussies claiming silver as well in the men's 100 metre breaststroke S14 and the men's and women's boccia BC3. And at the US Open, American Jessica Pegula is into the quarters of the US Open after beating Russian 20-year-old Diana Schneider 6-4, 6-2. Pegula had a slow start to the year due to an injury and changes in her team. She says her confidence, though, has returned.
I was definitely unsure and kind of lost some confidence, but then at the same time, I think there was a point where I tend to just kind of snap out of it and I don't dwell on it too long, and I let myself kind of feel, like you said, uncertain and maybe a little lost, and then I kind of snap out of it and I'm like, all right, I'll be fine. I'll just get through it.
And that is the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Don't miss out on Explorer Caravan's spring clearance sale ending this weekend. Explorer Caravans, 345 Prospect Road.
At the Bay, that two-car collision still causing really big delays. Brighton Road near Jetty Road there. Delays in all directions affecting Diagonal Road as you're heading inbound. Waterloo Corner, four-car collision there. Waterloo Corner Road at Port Wakefield Road. And super slow for a boost water main getting fixed at Valley View. Grand Junction Road near Walkley's Road speeds at 40. Camera Golden Grove Road at Golden Grove. Love a latte? Crave a cappuccino. Iced or hot? Audio coffee through the OTR app. And your fifth one's free. T's and C's apply. OTR. Making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Sunny and 20 today. Tomorrow a possible late shower, warming up to 26. Thursday a shower or two, 27. Friday showers back down to 22. Right now it's 11. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Right Price, Adelaide's best in heating and cooling, has risen to new heights. Literally, Right Price are now your roofing people too. Same exceptional service, value and quality. From total roof replacement, including tiled roof installation, to tile roof repairs, cleaning and painting. And for peace of mind, a rock-solid quote. So the only surprise you'll get is how magnificent your roof and home looks. Do it right. Visit rightpriceroofing.com.au.
You can get your roof right at Right Price.
Everybody knows Right Price are the heating and cooling experts. So imagine how much you can save when they join forces with EcoVantage, the incentive experts. Together with Right Price, EcoVantage will help you source all the government incentives you're entitled to when it comes to heating and cooling your home, including energy-efficient heat pump hot water systems. Right Price and EcoVantage, the best of both worlds when it comes to heating, cooling and government incentives.
Hey mate, I need a couple of 2x4s and 4x6s moved down over here.
Mate, why are you yelling?
Sorry mate, I'm just used to it.
There's no need to yell. In fact, there's no need to do much at all thanks to the all-new electric excavator by Volvo. With no noise and no emissions, there's really no worries. Inquire today through Warren Mining and
enjoy the sound of silence!
If you're in business, manufacturing, warehousing, it could be really any business, frankly, Sharman Shelving can help keep everything organised for you. It's a real time saver too, and as we know, time is money.
We love the guys at Sharman Shelving. Bill and his team, they've been doing it for years in businesses all over SA, improving workflow efficiency.
Sharman Shelving can help revolutionise the space you have, no matter how big or small, and if you're worried about the cost, well, remember this, Sharman Shelving isn't just about short-term fixes, it's an investment in long-term organisation with affordable solutions and designs for any budget.
So get in touch with Bill for a free measure and quote. He'll gladly show you what's possible. Every business needs a little Sharman. SharmanShelving.com.au or take a look on Facebook.
Drums, please. Unprecedented, unparalleled, unrivaled. The demo sale continues. Edwardstown Mazda are offering a minimum 10% discount on all Mazda demonstrator models and 2 years free scheduled servicing or $1,000 genuine accessories on new cars. Plus get a minimum $2,000 on your old vehicle. Only at Edwardstown Mazda.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
21 to 9, if you want to get along to see Hooked on Swing, stay listening. Some point in the next 20 minutes, we'll play a little snippet of swing. You hear it, you're the first caller through, we send you off to the show. Easy as that, 8223 0055. Now, it's not without a degree of trepidation we wade back into these waters this morning, because after 7, when we started talking about Frank Pangallo's idea to introduce hook turns into the city of Adelaide, things got heated. Who knew it would be such a divisive issue?
Just in case Andrew's listening, not our idea. Frank's idea. We talk about idea.
Here's Frank Pangallo on 7 News last night, detailing why he thinks the hook turn, as experience for anyone who's ever driven in Melbourne, would make sense here in Adelaide.
No way to make a right-hand turn here. Not even trams can make a right-hand turn in there because they didn't get that right. Getting around the CBD particularly is now a nightmare. You have to navigate a maze of roads just to make right-hand turns. Let's have a trial and let's see how it works on specific intersections that are congested.
Frank wants a trial. The problem is that everyone listening seems to either be in category A, great idea, we should be doing it now, or category B, this will lead to the end of the world.
Yeah, and it's an impassioned 50-50 split.
It really is. We wanted to get to talk to someone who has both understands the psyche of the Adelaide driver, but lives in Melbourne with the hook turn each and every day, and someone that would be known to you, the 5AA Breakfast audience. And the supercomputer didn't disappoint because it spat out the name Tony Moclair, the former host of Australia Overnights, as heard here on 5AA, now the host of 3AW Afternoon program. Tony, good morning to you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm stuck.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, let me rephrase. Good morning, gents. It's afternoon Melbourne time. That half an hour makes a big difference.
Oh, I know, mate. We know you're not normally up this early, Tony, so we appreciate you making the extra effort. So,
no worries. Now, your problem. Let's talk.
Yeah. So, as a now Melburnian, walk us through the hook turn. How do you perform a hook turn?
Well, it's very simple. All you do is pull over to the left. Then you wait, looking at a 90-degree angle to the traffic lights as traffic passes you by, and then you wait for it to go. You can't go on a green. You've got to wait for it to go. Hang on, no. This is the thing. Nobody can explain how they work. You just do it. You do it by instinct. All I would advise you to, if it does come to Adelaide, buy yourself shares in a panel repair shop. You're going to do swimmingly.
So, because you've got to turn right across two lanes normally. So you're looking over your blind spot, making sure that all the traffic has stopped as the lights are about to go red, and then you go when everything's safe.
It's a little heart and mouth. Yes, you pulled over to the left. You've given the traffic to your right, right of way. That goes, and then so you are parallel. Hang on, you are at a 90-degree angle to the traffic lights that you are meant to obey. And it's only when they go green, not red, only when they go green that you go. And you do a full turn. You do a 90-degree turn and off you go. And you do it while being beat by other impatient drivers. It's great for the heart rate.
And obviously, Melbourne's got trams everywhere. So it's the existence of the tram that's necessitated this, isn't it?
Correct, because the trams can't go around you, obviously, and they weigh 7 tonnes, and they're driven by people who are all unionised and are indemnified from any homicide charges.
Tony, you've lived in Adelaide. You understand Adelaide drivers. One of the sort of self-deprecating observations our listeners are making this morning is that simply Adelaide drivers who can't merge, this will be so far beyond their skill set that we shouldn't even entertain it. Is that an unfair or fair criticism, do you think?
If you pass this law, and if it comes into being, there will be a civil war before Wednesday. I'm telling you right now, there are a few cities like Adelaide when it comes to driving, and I know that if you impose this on Adelaide drivers, it will not go well.
Why do you reckon we are the worst, Tony? What is it about Adelaide?
I don't think you're the worst. Because Melbourne, they have their own peculiarities over here. I just found that giving up territory, like merging, there were more ferocious disputes than Israel and Palestine. They could learn a thing or two from not conceding an inch.
Yeah.
And you are just that was the one thing. Everything else was fine. And like I say, Melbourne is hardly paradise on earth when it comes to driving.
Well, mate, it's an excellent explanation. Sounds like it's more about the vibe than anything, how you do it. You just got to know you're going to do one and just trust your instincts.
You do. They are a little bit nerve-wracking, and I used to have to do one every night on the way into work to do Australia Overnight. You get used to them pretty quickly. I would just say, if you take a hook turn from us in Melbourne, can you please take either Dan Andrews or the debt for the Commonwealth Games?
No, there's no 50-50 split here on that one.
Damn.
We're a unity ticket in this state on the Dan Andrews question, I think.
Good on you, Tony.
All right, good to chat, guys.
Tony Moclair, the host of 3AW Afternoons, but a lot of our listeners would know him as the former host of Australia Overnights.
See, Scotland's hosting the Commonwealth Games, the ones that Victoria rejected. When they rejected them, Dan Andrews said, this is going to cost $7 billion. That's why we're not going to do it. Scotland are doing it for $220 million.
Got to love the Scots, don't you?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Dave in Clarence Gardens, good morning. What do you think of the hook turn question?
So I've got to wait until the lights go yellow, the traffic stops, and then I can do a right-hand turn.
If there's
How do we
traffic
stop
coming.
the people? Mate, as somebody who's on the road all day doing right-hand turns, it's scary. Nobody stops at the yellow light.
Yeah, we have a few texts. That's a good point. A few texts have said that. It would be, and I guess this is what Tony wrote. Really, tongue in cheek was making the point. There would have to be a whole hope of learnt driver behaviours that would have to be unlearned.
Yeah, but I agree with that call. Like people push their luck. A lot of people see the lights go yellow and think that means accelerate, not brake.
Carlos in Victor Harbour. Good morning.
Morning, guys. I lived in Melbourne for 20 years. I don't think hook turns are such a big deal. All you need to do is increase the time the two red lights are on at the same time by a couple of seconds and give people time to turn out of that right turn into the other lane.
I think that's a noticeable
traffic management issue. It's not a big deal, really. We're not reinventing the wheel here.
That is a noticeable thing that happens at those intersections in Melbourne. Carlos is right. It doesn't click instantly. They don't all sync up like they do here. There is an extra second or two that allows those people to turn. Andrew on the Duttons text line says, I think the theory of the hook turn is great. Just like on the expressway. If you want to turn off, you keep left. Do I think the average driver could figure it out? Absolutely not. Thank you, Andrew. Danny in Craigmore, good morning.
Good morning, boys. How's it going? Hey, listen, I'm originally from Melbourne, and I used to drive tow trucks, and the CBD was my area of operations. Now, I used to go to multiple accidents a day in Melbourne CBD because of hook turns.
Yeah, right.
And, I mean, they've been doing it in Victoria for so long, you'd think they'd know. So, to me, bringing it here and trying to educate drivers here, mind you, SA, the greatest state in the country, but, it'd be equivalent to the whole of Australia deciding to drive on the opposite side like they do in these states.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
It's a good point.
Good call, Danny.
All good calls.
Well, Danny,
and no one yelled at us this time.
No, I
which is
know.
good.
Exactly, it was good. But you'd think Danny has got a bit of street cred as a ex-tow truck driver whose beat was Melbourne CBD.
Yeah, you would have seen a bit.
Which country was it? Was it Sweden that in the 1960s...
Oh, they changed?
Went from driving on the left to the right?
I think it was Sweden.
Apparently there are heaps of pranks.
Yeah, well, that is the least surprising thing I've ever heard.
Imagine that. Like, changing currency is one thing. I think it was around about the same time that we did it. It was in the mid-60s, I think, from memory.
When you change currency, though, you don't have a head-on with the cash register, do you?
That's right.
Let's check traffic. We do so with the help of the excellent Jodie Lee Foundation. If you're aged 45 to 49, the Jodie Lee Foundation encourages you to search free bowel screening kit and order yours today.
Big delays at Glenelg at the moment. A crash on Brighton Road near Jetty Road with heavy delays affecting back to Diagonal Road 2. Croydon Park, a burst water main. Regency Road near Romney Avenue, that's slow. And she's super busy at Valley View with a burst water main 2. Grand Junction Road near Walkleys Road. Cameras this morning, 5 Ash Drive, Pasadena and Kelly Road at Modbury Heights. The Fan Spring-tastic event is here. Enjoy intro offers on selected new arrivals and spring specials, like the Finlay 3-seater sofa, save $100. Head in-store or online to find your fantastic. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The expert hearing team at Hearing Australia gives all Australians the quality hearing care they deserve, which is why we are Reader's Digest's most trusted hearing brand for the 4th year running. To celebrate, get your free 15-minute hearing check for adults and $0 fully subsidised hearing aids for eligible pensioners. Why trust your hearing to anyone else? Book an appointment today with Australia's #1 trusted hearing brand.
Hearing Australia.
Other services may attract fees. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
When the mornings start getting warmer and the sun rises a little bit earlier, the dream you let lie dormant over winter wakes. It's time to start with Olympic Industries Spring Sale. Huge savings on locally engineered verandas, carports, garages, tool sheds and more. Start building your dream now. And one day you'll look back at where it all started. In your own backyard with Olympic Industries Spring Sale on now.
The idea of our ageing parents struggling at home with everyday tasks like food shopping, cooking, house cleaning and general welfare is confronting.
Certainly is. Thankfully, with Alpha Support at home, you don't have to worry about a thing. Alpha Support at home will take care of the things your parents may need help with. It means they can live at home independently for longer. And with Alpha Support at Home, you can add or adjust as your parents' needs change. Nothing is set and forget. Services include shopping, cleaning, cooking, transport, gardening and physio, through to personal care and home nursing. Plus, your parents might be eligible for government funding.
Alpha Support at Home will work with you and your parents to develop a personalised plan designed to enable them to continue living independently in the comfort of their own home. For more, visit alphasupportathome.com.au.
I'm high!
The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home, with meals from just $12, like soup from $12 with garlic bread, half beef or chicken schnitzels $16, sweet and sour pork with rice $16, bangers and mash $18, 1 or 2 piece fish and chips from $16, and 250 gram porterhouse $22. Gotta love the Excelsior Hotel lunchtime menu. Feels like coming home, but better. You just know it's a bro hotel.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across My 24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Nine minutes to 9. Eddie in Valley View's called in. Morning to you, Eddie.
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Good, thanks, Ed.
Just very quickly, I get infuriated. I've been driving since I was 16. I'm now 71. Wasn't the law that you can't do U-turns at certain lights?
Depends on the intersection. I think, I think the rule is you can only ever do a U-turn at a set of lights if it says U-turn allowed.
Because there's a few in the city that say that.
Like if you're heading north along King William, you can do one at Halifax Street, I think. No, not Halifax, Gillis.
North Terrace have a couple, I think, across the tram line. You can do a U.
Boys, there's a lot of lights. McIntyre,
Yeah.
you know, I just started driving, and I'll tell you what, they all sit there on Main North Road going, they all do U-turns.
Yeah.
Funny that. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate that. Donna's called in because Donna was the first person to identify the little bit of swing that played a moment ago. And that means you, Donna, have got tickets for you and 3 friends to head along and see Hooked on Swing, the soundtrack of yesteryear, presented by Mario Maole Promotions, October 2nd, Adelaide Festival Theatre. You can get tickets at Ticket Tech. Congratulations to you, Donna.
Thank you so much.
You into your music, Donna? They're all classics from that era, aren't they?
Oh, they are, and my husband loves it as well, and it's his birthday later this month.
Oh, excellent.
So, yeah.
Well, that's good. Don't tell him you won the tickets.
No, hopefully he's not listening.
Oh, look, that's terrific. You'll have a wonderful night, and wish him a happy birthday from us too, Donna.
Oh, I will. Thanks, guys.
Not at all.
Thank you for that, Donna. Should we do some Dutton's texts on 0448081395?
Just quickly, how weird is this? Lucy just pointed out that today is actually the 57th anniversary of Sweden going from the left-hand to the right-hand side of the road. It was September 3, 1967. How about that?
Talk about a monumental change. That's remarkable.
That's crazy. The impassioned debate about hook turns continues apace. Kay says, what is the actual advantage of hook turns supposed to be? Well, get to the right-hand side,
Allows you to do a right-hand turn where otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Someone says, for every problem a hook turn might solve, it seems like it will create 3 others. I think the thing is, maybe we've beat up on ourselves too much as motorists in South Australia. Like, most of us aren't bad drivers. I think the problem is the ones who are bad are really bad. You know, it's that every 10th person, when you indicate, they're like, ha ha, nice try.
You reckon it's only every 10th?
Yeah. I reckon more often than not, I think overwhelmingly, because I'm a letter-innerer, if someone indicates, I just brake. I reckon almost always people wave to say thank you.
There's a merging lane.
But the ones who don't are just like...
On Adams Street, next to Highmarsh Stadium, that I drive through twice every day, one early in the morning, one at the afternoons as I go to 7.
Oh, this is down by the Torrens?
Down by the Torrens. That is as close to a lawless society, that 3 minutes as you approach that thing, as anything you'll ever get
So that's
in your
where
life.
you're heading towards where the
You're
Christmas
heading towards
lights
the
are.
Torrens, you're heading towards the display there, and
okay.
you have to turn left, and there's a merging lane.
Off the continuation of Manton Street.
That thing is Mad Max. And
I
there's
agree.
no reason why it should be.
Because it goes from 2 to 1.
It goes from 2 to 1.
That's poorly designed, that bit of road.
Yeah, it could be simplified.
Because hardly anyone turns right there.
That's right. That's the issue. Everyone's turning
Unless you've got
left.
to go to Omega Foods to buy, 10 kilograms of feta.
That's the issue. There's all it's given an equivalent amount of space. Anyway, that place it's always quite an experience.
I took Jim through the Britannia roundabout for the first time about 2 months ago when he was on his piece. I said, mate, this is the sort of Rachmaninoff's fifth of driving in Adelaide. If you can do this, you can do anything. So good luck.
Let's have a look at the fuel situation.
Was that the piece that said Health got me?
I think so. Member 7 RA Solar, RA Innovation Proprietary Limited, SA Building Licence number 319335. The cheap spots are slightly higher than they have been, except for one. The ex-convenience Main North Road Jeps Cross is still at $1.59.3. That's an outlier. If you can get it for that, fill up. Otherwise, the OTR Military Road West Beach is $1.79.9. The OTR North East Road Hillcrest is $1.82.9. And the EG Ampol Mount Barker Road Stirling $1.89.9. So there's a big spread of prices you could well pay this morning. Diesel-wise, the United Richmond Road Richmond is currently sitting at $1.74.5.
If you had a rough day at work yesterday, folks, spare a thought for the tiger handler up at Dreamworld in Queensland. There's been a bit of an update from paramedics about her condition.
So the patient obviously had received some serious lacerations and puncture wounds from the animal. The bleeding had been managed very well by first aid providers there at Dreamworld. She was quite pale and feeling unwell, but generally well, and was able to be transported to hospital. There's always a risk of infection from any animal bite, and that will be part of her treatment regime from the hospital.
I'll tell you what, this might sound harsh. Clearly sympathise with that woman. But what on earth is a majestic animal like a tiger doing at a place like Dreamworld? I reckon this tiger's just woken up and just gone, you know what, stuff this for a joke. It's different from actually being in a zoo as part of a breeding program or something.
Yeah, part of me always feels bad whenever I see any of them, to be honest with you. I mean, they're in captivity in some sort of small cage. I just think...
Well, there's cages and there's cages. I mean, you look at the Sumatran tigers down the road here. Like, that is a huge enclosure, and they are hugely under threat, and that is a breeding program. But, this is... I reckon it's only a short stroll from the beer-drinking donkeys of Tijuana to a Gold Coast tiger display. Like, there's no scientific reason for that. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit harsh, but I think the tiger's just had a bit of a brain snap and thought, this is beneath me, this existence.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, it's not what they're programmed for, is
No,
it?
no.
We're out of time. Matt Panzelis is at the show, so he's going to be broadcasting live from there in just a moment, as will Stacey Lee be today. We'll be back tomorrow morning from 6 with more tickets to the Port Geelong final Thursday night. So tune in for that. Have your best singing voice on, and we'll have another song with a Port theme to it that we'll be playing tomorrow morning. Have a terrific day. Enjoy the sun. We'll see you from 6.